Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. It is our final game of the exhibition season. We are going to be bringing you a rematch of last year's Japan final between the Hanshin Tigers and the Orix Buffaloes. Both of these teams are finishing off the three-game set at the Osaka Dome, or the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, as they would call it. And it is going to be the rubber match in this series. So first of all, we're going to give you the lineups for the visitors, or the crosstown visitors, the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off and playing center field tonight, wearing number 62, is Kai Ueda. Batting second at second base is number 51, Takumu Nakano. Hitting third and right field is number 66, Dan Onodera. And the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 8, Teraki Sato. Batting in the fifth spot and playing in left field is number 7, Sheldon Noisy. Batting in the sixth spot and playing first base is number 94, Fumihiro Haraguchi. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 12, Seishiro Sakamoto. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 0, Seiya Kanami. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 35, Hiroto Saiki. And they are going to be facing Daiki Tajima, who is taking to the hill for the Orix Buffaloes. Well, that's your starting lineup for the Tigers. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Orix Buffaloes, leading off and playing in center field. Wearing number 1 is Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second and playing second base, number 31, Ryo Oda. And the 3 spot in left field is number 7, and a newcomer to Buffalo fans, Ryoma Nishikawa. In the 4 spot playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 55, Tio Okada. Batting sixth in right field, wearing number 99, is Ietaro Sugimoto. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting in the 8th spot and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 2, is Kenya Wakatsuki. And they are going to be facing Hiroto Saiki, who takes to the hill for the Tigers tonight. Those are your starting lineups. We're going to be back with all the action in just a bit. We appreciate you guys for popping in here with us tonight. Whether you listen live or on delay, we are glad you guys could be in attendance here tonight. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The Buffaloes are just taking to the field, and we're going to be giving you all the play-by-play here in just a few moments. It is going to be the first pitch ceremonies and everything else that'll be coming up here. Whether you listen live or on delay, we're glad you guys are with us. Our friend Sauce Up is here. He says, how's it going? He's listening to us on Twitch. He says, glad to have baseball back. This is the last exhibition game we're doing. And I could tell Sauce Up this, that you definitely have the right logo for your handle. We'll be right back in about 60 seconds, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being here. Our game is about 3 minutes away or less. Welcome back, everybody. It is Daiki Tajima completing his warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one rolling here in the top of the first inning. Leading off for the Tigers will be Kai Ueda, and then it'll be Takumu Nakano and Dan Onodera to follow here to get this one going. A rematch of last year's Japan Series final. Both of these teams here are playing tonight. Last night it was a home game for the Tigers. Trying to figure out why I couldn't get a reliable feed, and that answered that question. Home game tonight for the Buffaloes, as it was on Friday, but the Tigers were the home team last night. And that was what had caused a little bit of a problem. We originally were going to do this game last night, and we were going to do the Bay Stars and the Fighters tonight. As it turned out, we watched a very well-pitched game last night between the Fighters and the Bay Stars. That game ended up as a 1-0 final for Yokohama. Tonight, we are ready to get this one going as we were 24 hours in the delay to be able to make the call here. We will be opening up the season on Friday, Japan time. It'll be 2 a.m. in the morning in North America on the Pacific Coast, 5 a.m. on the Eastern time zone. We'll be doing these same Orix Buffaloes, and they will be playing the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the season opener, so hopefully everybody can join us for that. Friday night, these two teams met. It was the Buffaloes winning 3-0. Miyagi beat Aogi in the opener of the series, and then last night, it was the Tigers winning 4-2 over Orix. And the first pitch of the ball game delivered to Ueda is a fastball taken for a called strike, and we are underway. No balls and 1 strike to Ueda. Tajima works out of the stretch, though there's nobody on, and he is ready to get this one going. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. As we said, last night's game was 4-2 for the Tigers. It was Otake getting the win, and he knocked off Castillo in that one there. Batting only 133 in the exhibition season, Ueda has struggled at the plate, 2 for 15. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind the home plate area on the first base side. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Sausup asked the question, says, any thoughts on the Otani situation? I honestly think that is going to go away. I think Major League Baseball is going to do what they can to make that leave. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. That's my honest opinion. I just don't see that Major League Baseball is going to pursue this one. Whether I agree or don't agree with that, that's a whole other topic, but I do think the Otani situation is gone, although Pete Rose's camp's probably pounding a fist somewhere. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up down the right field line in foul territory. Giving chase is the right fielder, the second baseman, and the first baseman, but it's going to be Yuma Tongu sliding with his back to the infield, making a beautiful catch. That is going to retire Ueda for the first out of the inning. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up second baseman Takumu Nakano. Yeah, that was really, really good job by Tongu, showing his range, sliding, making an over-the-shoulder catch with a almost lime green type of glove. I don't remember Tongu using that at first base last year. Here's the pitch. First pitch is a fastball that just misses low to Nakano, and the count is quickly 1-0. Nakano batting from the left side. He has struggled in the exhibition season. He's 5 for 50. He's batting an even 100. As Tajima ready to go. Here comes the pitch. And it is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. But it's the exhibition season. We don't want to put a lot of stock into that. But that being said, you always want to try to get off to a good start. I was thinking of the Detroit Tigers and their spring training. They're having a decent spring training, winning both of their split squad games today. Especially when you're a younger team, you want to get that momentum going into the season. Feeling good about yourself, feeling a little bit light. Nothing worse than playing bad ball in the spring and bad ball in the season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tajima kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. Count runs even to 2-2. Sasup says you'll be at the Tigers opening day against the A's. Do you think they can make the playoffs this year? Honestly, they're not that far away in that Central Division. The Central is so bad. The Twins, I don't see the Twins being better than they were last year. They're going to tighten themselves back up to the pack. I think the team to keep an eye on is the Kansas City Royals in that division. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2. Kansas City's made a couple of nice additions to their lineup. Sasup asked the question, how many opening days have I been to? I've actually only been to one. I probably have been to about a half a dozen second games of the season, but only one opening day. Opening day, I was at the Angels and the Mariners one year. I was opening night. I played a night game. As that breaking ball misses, it's a 3-2 count now to Nakano. Be making a few tours this year. I'm going to get down first game of the season that I'm got penciled in my calendar, April 15th. I'm going to go see the Reds and the Mariners. I see a couple games in Seattle this year. Fastball swung on, lifted into shallow center field, coming hard and sliding and making the catch is the center fielder Fukuda. And that is going to retire Nakano for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books. That's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Dan Onodera. Should be able to get to about 2 or 3 Mariner games, and then I'll be off to Oakland and San Fran in June for a few nights. I'll catch the Athletics and the Blue Jays for 2, and the Giants and the Astros for 1. My first time seeing those stadiums, and I intentionally wanted to do it because I want to see Oakland before it all gets shut down. Here's the first pitch to Onodera. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And then I will be in Detroit in early August. I think the Royals are in town, so I'm going to try to get to see a game. I've seen tons of games at Comerica Park. Having lived in that area for years, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-2, and of course, Old Tiger Stadium. But it'll be the Royals and the Tigers in that one. And then I'm not sure how many more games I'm going to get to after that because I'll be in Latin America. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Onodera. So certainly not major league games, but we'll be seeing baseball in that part of the world. There's a lot of it. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Fielded neatly by the third baseman, Mune. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Onodera. That's going to go in the books as a ground out 5-3 for out number 3, and that will do it here in the first inning for the Tigers. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Our friend John asks, any Yankee games this year? Fortunately, I don't think there's going to be any on the slate the way it's looking. I was just looking at the calendar. I'll be back to talk a little bit more baseball with everybody here after we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Our final exhibition game before we start calling it for real in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming to bat here in the last half of the first inning for the Buffaloes. That means Shuhei Fukuda, Ryo Oda, and Ryoma Nishikawa to face the right-hander Hiroto Saiki, who is going to get his start here. This is his fourth of the spring. In each of the last three games, he has ramped it up. He had 3 innings of work, 4 innings of work, 5 innings of work in his last start. Not sure what we're going to get out of him here tonight, as he is going to be facing the Buffaloes here in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch is a fastball under the hands, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Fukuda. Talking in the last half inning, John Smith asked if I was going to any Yankee games. Our friend Sasa, just for everybody's knowledge, he's listening in on Twitch. We do stream on both Twitch and YouTube, as that fastball is fouled away. The count is 0-2, so you may not see in the chat both of it there. I've got our friend CV in the house. So no Yankee games on the slate this year. I was looking to see when they were going to be in Seattle, and it just isn't going to work for me at this point. So that fastball's in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2 on Fukuda. Even the Tigers as well. John says, Twitch too. Yeah, we've always streamed on Twitch. We just don't really put a whole lot of stock into it. We're always pleased with the people that are there. It is Last Raps Baseball on Twitch as well. There is a fastball that is down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say Fukuda didn't go. Looked like a little home cooking on that call, because as far as I'm concerned, he had offered for it, but that's going to run the count to 2-2. But mainly our main pieces on the YouTube channel, and that's what we run here as well. Here's the 2-2 offering. Fastball swung on and grounded through the hole into right field, through the 4-hole, and it's going to be a leadoff single here for Fukuda. He's aboard, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. John says, so this is the hub. Yeah, absolutely. YouTube is where we spend our time, and everything else, we just don't put a lot of stock into Twitch. Not that it's a bad thing. And our friend John in the house, and we appreciate you for being here as well, John. And thanks for listening in. Light crowds in the exhibition season, but we expect the festive audience in the middle of the night next week when we bring you the Buffaloes and the Hawks. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Oda. Oda batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Saiki. That's always fun having everybody in the house, especially when we get some of the larger audiences in. It's what we like to have and provide everybody some entertainment, as that fastball misses upstairs and the count goes to 1-1 on Oda. I would expect not just tonight, but everybody else that's in throughout the year. They have some people like certain teams. Some people just like Japanese baseball in general. And as they stepping off the mound is Saiki, and he feigns a throw over to first base. Getting back easily is Fukuda because there was no throw. And our friend, I'd like to say it, if I hope I said it properly, but it looks like it's Telekinesis for Cats is in the house tonight as well, as there's a fastball swung on. It's popped up in the infield. Camping out underneath it is Oda. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. Sauce-Up says he's got tickets for the Tigers versus A's, Astros, and Cardinals this year. He's looking forward for some good baseball. Well, I don't know what you're going to get with the A's other than opening day and a lot of alcoholic beverages being passed around, I'm sure. Nishikawa is 7 for 27 in the exhibition season, and the first pitch has swung on, and it is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it with room and making the catch is Sheldon Noisy, and that is going to put Nishikawa in the books for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and it's going to leave it all up to Yumatongu. Defensively tonight, around the outfield from left to right, it is Sheldon Noisy, and left, the center fielder for the Tigers is Kaiueda. In right field, it is Dan Onodera. Around the horn from first to third, Haraguchi is at first. The second baseman's Nakano. The shortstop is Kanami. And at third base, it is Sato with the battery of Saiki and Sakamoto. JR also in the house tonight. Welcome aboard. So here comes the first offering to the right-handed hitting Tongu, but instead it's thrown over to first base, and diving back in time is Fukuda. I would think this would be a really good situation here for Fukuda to take off and run. I'll try to get him into scoring position so that Tongu's got a chance to drive him in. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and looked like it was fouled away as it squirted away from the catcher, and the count is quickly 0-1. Maybe not. Maybe he just flat out dropped it. So one strike to Tongu. Fukuda gets his lead over at first base. Saiki holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball down, and it squirts away from the catcher. That's going to go in the books as a wild pitch, so you don't have to steal in that situation. I don't know if Fukuda was on the move or not. We'd have to take a look. But that ball was spiked into the ground about 4 or 5 feet ahead of Sakamoto. Did the best he could to try to block it. Didn't let it get behind him. But that bounced well in front of home plate. So wild pitch charge to the pitcher. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Tongu. We're talking about Major League games this year and where we're trying to get to. I was originally looking to try to get down to San Diego. I'd reached out to our friend CV and said, hey, I might be coming down your way. There's the breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it is going to hook foul. Tongu sent it a long way, but it's into the seats down the left field line. Foul. The count now goes to 1-2. That was a split finger pitch that didn't split. It stayed right up in the zone, and Tongu absolutely turned on it. Thought about maybe the possibility of getting to see the Angels play because I've never been to that stadium. I've been to Dodger Stadium. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball down. This time a great block by Sakamoto to keep it in front. The count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tongu. Saiki rubbing up a new baseball. One of the things I heard about the Dodgers the other day when Yoshinobu Yamamoto got lit up in Korea, they were saying about the type of baseball is a little bit different in the major leagues compared to what they use in Japan. As the pitch is on the way, it's a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2. CV says I'm going to hate him because he's probably not going to Washington now. CV says he's going to the Dodger Angel game on Sunday. That should be an entertaining affair. It's, I think, a 3-game set they're playing in the Freeway Series before the regular season starts. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. This ball is going to get trouble, and it's down. It's going to get up against the wall. That's going to cash in Fukuda. Rounding first and heading to second is Tongu, and he's going to cruise into second with a stand-up double. So they've traded places. Tongu has himself an RBI and a double. Coming in with the first run of the ball game is Shuhei Fukuda, and the Buffaloes have taken a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, T. Okada. Our friend Troy also listening in tonight. He says this is preseason. Yep, this is the last game of the exhibition season. It all gets going for real on Friday. Troy, great to see you. We were just talking about all of the tours of baseball we're going to get to this year. We'll be in Detroit for the Royals in August. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, but it's not going to be deep enough. It hangs up, and the right fielder, Dan Onadero, makes the catch, and that is going to retire Okada for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Buffaloes get a run on a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 1 complete It is the Buffaloes 1, the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a bit. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us here tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order coming to bat for the Tigers. It'll be Teraraki Sato, Sheldon Noisy, and Fumihito Haraguchi to face the left-hander Daiki Tajima, who is on for his second inning of work. Didn't give you the defensive alignment for the Buffaloes tonight. We'll do that here before the inning gets going. In the outfield from left to right, it is Ryoma Nishikawa. In left, the center fielder is Fukuda, and the right fielder is Yataro Sugimoto. Around the horn from first to third, Tongu is at first. The second baseman is Oda. At short, it's Kirbiashi, and the third baseman is Mune, with the battery of Tajima and Wakatsuki. That is your lineup tonight. So Teraraki Sato digging in here, ready for the first offering from Daiki Tajima. Tajima delivers a fastball down and away, and the count is 1-0. I really, really like this third baseman. I really like Sato. He fills out the uniform well. He's also played in the outfield, although I don't know how much outfield he'll play when Morishita is patrolling the position of right field, as he's probably locked in at third for a while now. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count is 2-0. But I really like him, and the thing is that if he can continue to cut down on his strikeouts, he really struck out a couple of years ago a lot. Each year he has been trimming that back a little bit, making a little bit more contact, drawing a few more walks, being a little bit more disciplined at the plate. So that trend continues. There's all kinds of things to like about him, but there's a big swing and a miss, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Sato. Talking a little bit about earlier when our friend on Twitch, Sauceup, was in here, and he was asking about where we're going to go. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-1 on Sato. As I said, it looks like April the 15th, going to go see the Cincinnati Reds and the Mariners. More than likely the first game I'm going to be able to get to, and there's probably one other, I think, at the end of the month. For some reason, I think the Atlanta Braves are coming into Seattle, so I'm going to try to get a Monday game in there as well. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes full to 3-2 on Sato. Be able to get the Reds and the Braves, 2 National League teams coming in, some early season National League play. Would really like to see the Braves play. That's a formidable lineup, and if you were asking me today who I think is going to win the World Series, I'm putting my eggs in their basket. The Seattle Mariners can pitch it. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. Our friend Sauceup also asked if I've been to opening day. I said I was at one. A number of years ago, I was at the Mariners and the Angels. It was a night game, and it was when Josh Hamilton was still playing. He was in left field for the Angels that night. So it would have been nice to see that. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted into the seats, foul over on the third base side. The count remains now 3-2 to Sato. Anytime you get an opportunity to get to major league games, you take advantage of it, especially that you're not, or I no longer live in a marketplace, or at least 20 minutes from the stadium. So here's the 3-2 pitch. As the lefty holds set, now he kicks and fires. Fastball that just misses outside. So says the home plate umpire. That's going to be ball 4. Daiki Tajima not looking very impressed. And I have to tell you, I want to see that again on the replay because that looked like it caught the more than just the outside corner of the plate. Well, if you're calling the glove, it's a ball. If you're calling the plate, that might have caught it. But instead, Sato is aboard, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Troy says the Mariners Park looks unreal. What's your favorite park that you've been to? I have to tell you, the favorite park that I've been to has been PNC Park in Pittsburgh. I really like that park. Noisy 5 for 29 in the exhibition season. He takes a fastball down and in for ball 1. The count is 1-0. I saw the Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Francisco Giants, and it would have been around the year 2000 approximately. Barry Bonds was still playing at that time, and it was a walk-off. I think Brian Giles walked the game off for the Pirates against the Giants that night. It was a 3-2 or 4-3 or 2-1 victory. Fastball taken for a called strike. We sat on the third base side, and we were looking out toward the right center field. What a great view that was. Get to see the bridge in the background and all the buildings. I really like the way that Major League Baseball had went away from the multi-purpose stadiums, got back to building ballparks. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses down. It's now 2-1 to Noisy. You think of Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and some of those stadiums, they were just buildings with plastic fields. But you think of the ballparks that have been built, Colorado and Seattle, they're cousins to one another. There's a very similar design. The only thing that's different is there's a roof in Seattle, not a roof in Colorado. Fastball misses down. The count goes to 3-1 on Noisy. Also thinking about Comerica in Detroit. It's a nice ballpark. Of course, growing up with Tiger Stadium, you fell in love with that. And being at some of the other vintage parks like Wrigley and Boston, great parks to go to. I've been to Dodger Stadium, been down to the stadium in San Diego. San Diego's a great park too. Really, really enjoyed that park. I sat in 3 different spots on 3 different nights. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Fukuda. Stopping at second is Sato, and the Tigers have something brewing here as they've got 2 on and nobody out here in the second inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Fumihiro Haraguchi. Well, for Haraguchi, getting an opportunity to get the start at first base here tonight. Just looking at that replay of Sato's hit, Noisy's hit. Did a nice job of staying inside the ball and pulling it. This is Noisy's second year in the NPB. He was an integral part of last year's championship run. He's come back for another season, so that is an important role that he is playing in left field. 1 for 12 is Haraguchi here in the exhibition season. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped over the head of the second baseman. It's going to get down for a hit. Sato is going to round third. He's going to score. Stopping at second is Noisy. And we have ourselves a tie ball game as Haraguchi has driven in the tying run. 1-1 we have it, and then we still have the same situation. Runners at first and second. Our friend CV says he likes the Angels Stadium better than Dodger Stadium. I've not been to the Angels Stadium, but the Dodger Stadium reminds me of something that is right out of 1954 or 56 or whatever. It's, very, very, that time of the year. It kind of reminds me a lot of Disney World back in the 70s. What would this be futuristically? So the runner at second, Noisy. The runner at first, Haraguchi. Seishiro Sakamoto stepping up here. And here comes the first pitch. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for called strike. The count is 0-1. Troy says, besides Comerica, he's been to Petco and Angel Stadium. I like Petco too. I sat in 3 different spots at Petco. The first night I sat behind the first base dugout to watch Max Scherzer and Andrew Kashner go head-to-head against one another. I was literally 2 rows behind the dugout. Great seats for that one. Next night, or the next day, I was sitting up on the third base side, up on the between third and home in the top deck. Probably not the brightest idea to do that again when it's a beautiful sunny day in San Diego. Make sure you have your sunscreen. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. And then the other one, I was on the first base line between first base and the right field corner to see the Cubs, but I was sort of sitting at the mid-level or club level, I'm not sure what they call it, in San Diego. So 3 different vantage points for 3 different games, and all 3 were great. You get a chance to see the warehouse there in left field with the angle that you had. Awesome. Just great stuff. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sakamoto as he bats here from the right side, waiting here on the offering from the lefty Tajima. Tajima checks the runner at second base, and here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. Arizona is also intriguing. I understand that they're talking about building a new stadium in Arizona. I just shake my head. That stadium is a jewel with the dome and the way that when they open it up, you're sitting there, you would never know that the roof is open. You're sitting in air conditioning while the game is going on. Unbelievable. 1-2 pitch, swung on, chopped softly back to the mound. Tajima fields it. He throws it over to third. Not a good throw. He was off balance. He didn't set his feet. Yuma Mune had to stretch like a first baseman into foul territory, but that's going to retire Noisy. It's going to be a fielder's choice, 1-5 on the putout. Haraguchi is going to advance to second. Sakamoto will be safe at first on the fielder's choice. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. As we said, talking about the stadiums, I'd like to get to a few stadiums in the Midwest as well. I've never been to the new St. Louis Stadium. I haven't been to Kansas City. I think both of those will be on the docket here in the next couple of years. Here's the pitch from Tajima. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, and the count now is 0-1 to Kanami. Kanami 12 for 45 in the exhibition season. No homers, no RBIs. He bats from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Tajima. Tajima checks the runner at second. He works set to the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kanami. Got to keep the finger on the hot button. I feel we're going to have a sneeze coming here soon. Hopefully we can let that one pass. Here's the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Just past the glove of Tajima and past the diving second baseman Oda into center field. Stopping at third is the base runner Haraguchi, and that is going to load the bases. Haraguchi is at third. He stopped there. Sakamoto, the runner at second. Kanami, safe on the single. And that is going to bring up the pitcher, Hiroto Saiki. Tajima, it just went over his left shoulder. He reached across with the glove. He was just a little slow, couldn't get it. And then Oda, who was shaded to more toward the 4-hole, was diving to the ball as it was going up the middle, and it just got past his glove. But we have the bases are loaded, full of Tigers. 1 gone here in the top of the second inning. So certainly a little different flavor than last night's game, as it was a 1-0 affair between the Bay Stars and the Fighters. Tonight looks like we're going to see some offense. Here comes the pitch. Tajima delivers. Fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. Counts 0-1. I always find it to be interesting. The Tigers not using a DH, they're using the pitcher to bat in this one, playing it like they would be playing it during the regular season. Buffaloes, on the other hand, are using the DH, so in essence, they're taking a hitter out of the lineup are the Tigers. Psyche looks pretty good at the plate. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count runs even to 1-1. Over the years, there have been some Tigers who could really swing bat. Yuki Nishi and Junya Nishi, both of those two over the last couple of years have been able to run into some balls. So here comes the 1-1 offering. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to the pitcher, Psyche. Bases full of Tigers. Tajima working himself to the set. Checks the runners at third and at second. Here comes the pitch. And it is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2 to Psyche. We'll be doing some Major League games this year, and we will post those up as we come along. I think last year we only did 5 MLB games. My goal this year is to do at least 150 games, Japanese and MLB, and that includes these exhibition. We may be able to get more in. Going to be away for a couple of weeks in late August like we were last year. There's a breaking ball, waved that and missed. Psyche on for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Kai Ueda. But we're going to have to get cracking on these games if we're going to do that many this year. There's going to be some nights that we're going to load up, and I'm thinking about doing the Cubs and the Rangers opener on Thursday. That just happens to meet the times I'm available to do that. And then get a little bit of a break, have a little nap, and then come back and do the game in the middle of the night between the Hawks and the Buffaloes. So bases are loaded. 2 gone here. Ueda at the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to first his first time up. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Ueda. 2 for 16 in the exhibition season. Batting 125 is the right-handed hitting center fielder. He rests the bat on his shoulder, and then he waggles it. And as he picks it up, here comes the 1-0 from Tajima. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. I have to say, I don't consider Tajima to be the most overpowering pitcher. But I would say that Ueda is overmatched here in this situation, or at least he looked overmatched on that last pitch. Here comes the 1-1. Tajima works to the set. Checks the runners. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. That last pitch was at 90 miles an hour, right on the button. So Tajima ahead in the count here, 1-2. 45 pitches already here in this game so far for the lefty. Don't really know what his leash will be like tonight. How long they're going to ride him for. We've seen some of the other pitchers that have started the last couple of nights, around 80 pitches or so. Here comes the 1-2. It's a breaking ball that misses well off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-2. I say that's assuming that they don't waste a whole pile of pitches in one inning. It was a few nights ago when we were doing the game with the Carp. And it was the Carp and the Lions, and one of the Lions pitchers had went for about 30 to 5 pitches in the second inning, and his night was over pretty quick. Here comes the 2-2. Tajima checks the runners. Now he kicks, he fires. Fastball fouled away right at home plate. That count is going to remain even at 2-2 to Ueda. We are looking forward to the start of the season, as I said, both on in North America and in Asia. Of course, I'll be calling the games, the Japanese games, as many as we can get. And as I said, 150 is the goal for this year. That is our target. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As it is delivered as a fastball, swung on and missed, and Ueda down on strikes for out number 3. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the second inning. Well, they got a run in the inning, and there was 3 hits. There were no errors, and there were 3 runners left the board. We are now through 1.5. Your score is the Tigers won, the Buffaloes won. We'll be back with the bottom of the second in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight for some exhibition baseball, Japanese style, when we return. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes, and our friend Titus is in the house tonight. Hope you're feeling better, Titus. He was a little under the weather yesterday. Appreciate you checking back in here tonight. Sugimoto, Kobayashi, and Mune to come to bat. A little different look of the bottom of the order here, that is for certain. Normally we see Mune up at the top. Kobayashi certainly had a very good year last year. By the end of the year, he was hitting in the 3-hole often enough. And Sugimoto usually in the 4 or the 5 spot. So here's the first pitch to Sugimoto. It's a breaking ball that is waved down and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. 16 pitches in the first inning for Saiki. Sugimoto steps back in. 7 for 19 in the exhibition season. Big fella here batting from the right side against the right-hander Saiki, who kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is taken on one hop by the third baseman Sato. He fires across the diamond and picked out beautifully by Haraguchi. That's going to retire Sugimoto on a ground at 5-3. He hit the ball hard. Nice play by the third baseman. Nice play by the first baseman. Good baseball all around on that particular play. Sato had to go to his glove side. Nice drop step, be able to read it off of the turf. There was a little bit in the dirt, but Haraguchi really stretched to be able to pick that one out. That brings Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. The shortstop batting from the right side takes a fastball outside for ball 1. 1-0 here. The 22-year-old batting .286 in the exhibition season. He's 8 for 28. Pitches a fastball that just misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. I have to keep reminding myself that the best years for Kobayashi are still to come. Only 22 years old. It seems like he's been around forever. He made his NPB debut at 17. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. And this ball is going to get off the wall. It was kind of strange the way the outfielders were playing it. But it one hops off of the Pioneer sign, or the part of the outfield there in left center field. And he cruises into second base with a stand-up double with one gone here in the second inning. So he is at second, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Just didn't have enough legs to get out of the yard. But he looked like maybe with couple more years in the weight room and a few more dinners, he'll be able to get there. Actually, I thought it one hop the Pioneer sign. It actually hit above it. So he is aboard as the runner at second base. That brings Boone to the plate. Boone batting from the left side. He's got the body armor all the way. It looks like he's wearing a catcher's shin guard. First pitch fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. In fact, I'm going to take another look at this. It looks exactly what he's wearing is a catcher's shin guard on the right leg. I think it's all the way up past his kneecap. We need a different angle on this. Boone 5 for 25 on the exhibition season. He's batting .200. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second base. Fielded. They throw to first. That's exactly what he's got on. He's got a catcher's shin guard all the way up. I've never seen a hitter use a catcher's shin guard to hit. I wonder if he lost a bet to somebody. So ground out 4-3. It is going to advance Kirby-Ashe over to third. Boone in the books for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. I don't think I've ever seen a hitter use a catcher's shin guard to bat. That ought to tell you something about your swing if you're having to wear a catcher's shin guard. So Kenya Wakatsuki at the plate, 2 out, a runner at third. 2 for 12 in the exhibition season. Here's the pitch. Fastball down for ball one, counts 1-0. Game deadlocked at 1 here. Buffaloes got on the board early in the bottom of the first inning when Umatangu doubled home Shuhei Fukuda with 2 out. And the Tigers responded in their half of the second very, very quickly. There was a split-figure pitch swung on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Wakatsuki. Right-hander leans in, he gets his sign. We're ready to go back at it again. Here comes the offering from Psyche. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. We put out a pile of highlights and content over the last little bit. Major League Baseball highlights. We're going to add a few of the Japanese ones as well. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks. And there's a fastball that misses down. And I stopped there by the catcher Sakamoto. Prevents Kirby-Ashe from thinking about coming home. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wakatsuki. Try to add some slow motion swings as well. One of the players that's in the Buffaloes lineup is Ryoma Nishikawa. He was a off-season free agent acquisition from the Hiroshima Carp. I had a chance to watch Nishikawa play a bit last year when I was in Japan. Very impressive left fielder, could play his position very well. Brings an experienced bat to the lineup. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Wakatsuki stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that's going to do it here in the second inning for the Buffaloes. No runs in the inning. They had a hit, no errors. They stranded the runner at third. Your score after 2 completed is the Tigers 1 and the Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the third inning when we return. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Daiki Tajima coming back out for his third inning of work. 48 pitches through the first 2 innings for the Buffaloes left-hander. It was a rocky second inning for him after he was fairly efficient 1-2-3 in the first against the Tigers hitters. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat to face him. It'll be Nakano, Anandera, and Sato. Get things going here in the third inning. Tajima, the lefty, reaches down for the rosin bag, and he's ready to go to work here against Nakano. Nakano 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. It's left-hander versus left-hander matchup as Tajima holds at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. It's been a tough exhibition season for Nakano as he swings at a fastball that is grounded over to first, and it is off of Tongu, and it's going to reach its way in towards the second base area in front of the second baseman, Oda. We're going to take a look at this one on the replay. We're going to see if Tongu just outright butchered it. We can see what happened. Tongu had to really stay low. He had to go to his backhand side across the body, and he got the glove on it, but he wasn't able to come up with the play. We'll have to wait and see what the scorer is going to rule on that one. I think it was a hard hit ball. I would probably give him a hit, but it could go down as an error. We'll find that out in a little bit once the official score makes their decision. So regardless, a runner at first and Dan Anandera at the plate. First pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Anandera is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to third his first time up. 4 for 26 in the exhibition season for the right-handed hitting right fielder of the Tigers. Morishita getting the night off, at least in the early going. And here comes the 0-1 pitch, but instead Tajima throws over to first base and getting back easily as the base runner Nakano. Tigers can run well, and they do run well. There's no Koji Chikamoto in the lineup, no Morishita tonight. So no balls and 1 strike it is as the lefty Tajima kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Anandera. Tajima looking to finish him off here as he's going to be getting into the heart of the order. You don't want to face the heart of the order with a lot of ducks on the pond. They could do a lot of damage. Here's the 0-2 pitch. As Tajima kicks and fires, fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. They did rule that a base hit for Nakano, so no error charged to Tongu. Would have been an extremely difficult play to be able to make. He had to go backhand side. He went right down to his knees. I think he's disappointed he needed to come up with it. I'm sure a Gold Glove first baseman would have made that play. And Tongu's defense has improved. He came up originally as a catcher. Fastball swung on, grounded to second. Oda goes to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. Anandera still can get down the line. It's going to go in the books as a fielder's choice. Nakano gone 4-6 at second. Anandera safe on the back end at first. Then we'll bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. Well, for Sato tonight, he has scored the only run for the Tigers. He had walked in the first inning, was brought home on an RBI single by Haraguchi. Scoreline right now is 1-1. Runner at first here, Anandera, Sato at the plate. Sato really worked Tajima over the last time. He had himself an 8-pitch at bat before he drew the walk. Here's the first offering from Tajima. It's a slow breaking ball, waved that and missed. Oh, Sato was way out in front of the pitch. No balls and 1 strike to the Tigers' third baseman. Bats from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Tajima. He checks the runner over at first. They set up away, and the pitch is a breaking ball. Catches the outside corner. The count now goes to 0-2 on Sato. So no balls and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki giving the signs. He's got his eyes locked in firmly on the left-handed hitting third baseman. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses low, and the count now goes to 1-2. Waiting his turn on deck is Sheldon Noisy. American back for another year with the Tigers. Interesting, you get some players that when they come over and they just love it over there and extend the career and don't even think about going back to baseball in North America. Here's the pitch. Fastball, take it for a called third strike right at the knees. Sato stood there like the house by the side of the road. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. I'm starting to say a little bit about North American players who have played a long career or had a number of years in Japan. I thought of Brandon Laird, as he had finished his career with the Chiba Lotte Marines, but he spent about 8 seasons in Japan. I think he had 2 tours with Chiba. He also was with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Noisy. So no balls and 1 strike. Then you also look at some other ones that are around and about. Miles Michaelis, he spent some time, I think it was 3 years in Japan with the Murray Giants, and he bounced back to Major League Baseball. There's the 1 strike pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes even to 1-1. I think of guys back in the 80s and the 90s, some people would come at the end of their career for 1 year. Some players would come for more than 1 year, like Warren Cromartie of the Yomiuri Giants. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball down, blocked by Wakatsuki. Able to keep it in front of him. That's going to run the count to 2-1. Other players that would have some length. Even Leonis Martin had a couple of years that he had played over in Japan at the end of his career. Extended it a little bit longer. I say extended a little bit longer because the players that come to Japan, they get treated fairly well. The compensation is pretty good. A lot better than what you would get in the Mexican League. Or for that matter, even in the Korean League. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 3-1. Certainly Eric Fetty of the Chicago White Sox trying to use the KBO as a bounce back to the MLB. He spent time with the Washington National Organization, went over and absolutely lit up the KBO last year. Now the White Sox are hoping that he can bring some of that magic to the South Side. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the lefty leans in. He gets the sign. As Tajima shakes off his catcher, now steps off the rubber, and they're going to cycle through the signs again. Another pitcher who was over in Japan and had rebuilt his career was Nick Martinez. Martinez is going to get a shot in the rotation for the Cincinnati Reds this year. He was a bit of a swingman for the Padres over the last couple of years, out of the bullpen mainly. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball has popped up into shallow center field. Coming in is Fukuda. Moving back is Kirby-Ashi, and Kirby-Ashi is going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here for Noisy, as he's going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Your score is the Tigers won, the Buffaloes won. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with the bottom of the 3rd when we return. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Orix Buffaloes. That means it'll be Fukuda, Oda, and Nishikawa to come to bat here. 28 pitches through the first two innings for Psyche, as he has just completed his warm-up tosses. We are ready to resume the action. Right-hander here is got the baseball back, spits on his hand, ready to go again. Friend JR says, Tyler's in the house tonight. How you doing, Tyler? Welcome back again. Glad to have you here. First pitch fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop Kanami. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Fukuda on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for out number one, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. JR says, Fosbear. I'm not sure what that is. Our friend Tyler says his first broadcast of the season. Yep, last of the exhibition games for us as the real thing begins this week. As the first offering is delivered to Oda, and it is taken for a fastball upstairs for ball one. Counts 1-0. CV says, speaking of the Mexican League, he saw Bauer is in Mexico City. I guess they're pitching against he was supposed to start against the Yankees somewhere. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into left field. This ball is going to get down. It's off the wall. Digging for second is Oda. Here comes the throw. It's going to be offline. And in safely with a one-out double is Ryo Oda. So Oda is aboard. Tyler says he's still working overnights, still happy to have you back. Well, I appreciate it, Tyler, and happy to have you with us as well. JR says, interesting, aren't the Yankees going there soon? Wonder if the two are related. Yeah, Bauer's supposed to start against the Yankees, but I don't think he's going to sign with the Yankees. I just can't see that happening. Oh, Tyler says Fazbear is a character from Five Nights at Freddy's. There you go. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight 0 for 1. He flew out to left his first time up. Nishikawa, as I mentioned, got to see him play for the Carp last year. As a breaking ball comes in, and it catches the inside corner for one ball and one strike. What I thought about Nishikawa, I was at the game in Yokohama. What really impressed me was how he could get a jump on the ball. He really could get into the gaps and down the line, of course, too, but good jump into the gaps to get balls. He put on a clinic that night, and there goes the runner to third, and the throw is going to be in time. Oh, I don't know what you're doing, Oda. He just got thrown out trying to steal third. Let's see. They're going to go up and have a look at it, but I don't think the VAR is going to be able to bail Oda out unless the tag was poor. No, Oda, not sure what you're doing. One thing I did notice is Kentaro Kobayashi, who is getting the start at shortstop tonight, as he was the regular shortstop for the Buffaloes last year. I couldn't help but notice it looked like he's put on some weight. I don't know if it's good weight or bad weight. Looks like he's filling out a little bit. I'm curious to know how he is going to be playing there. The throw looks like it was in time. Whether the tag was applied safely or not is another question. Looking at the replay here. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he got the tag there in time. The throw was to the foul line side, or the foul territory side of third base. Sato had to get it and bring it back to the bag. That might have got Oda in there safely. We're going to see what the umpires have to say. We're going to look at a different angle. The other angle that they show, I think that I would probably rule him out. One thing I would say about Sato's tag, I didn't like the tag by Sato. Usually you want to get the ball and you want to live around the base. It was like he was reaching for the runner. It took him away from the bag a bit, at least on the one angle that we saw. Tyler asked the question, are these preseason games? Yep, it is. This is the last of the preseason games. It is a rematch of the Japan series. And the umpires have come out and said that Oda is out. So that's caught stealing 2-5 on the putout. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books here for the Buffaloes. Yeah, this is the rubber match game as well of the series. Each team has won one game each. This is the third of the 3-game set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As the pitch is a fastball down, they're going to appeal to the third base umpire, and they say that Nishikawa didn't go. The count is 2-2. This is the Osaka version of the Freeway series. They might want to call it the Train series or the Subway series, sort of. Tyler says he had a good night betting MMA tonight, plus working makes it great to listen to some Last Raps baseball. There you go. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined up the middle. Oh, what a great play by the second baseman, Nakano, ranging to his right, able to make the grab. And that is going to do it here. Nishikawa hit the ball on the screws. Great play there by the second baseman, as he's able to haul that one in for the third out of the inning, and an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs in the inning. There was the hit. There was no errors and nobody left the board. We are now through a third of the way through the ball game. Your score is the Tigers 1 and the Buffaloes 1. Hang tight, everybody. I'll be back in just a couple moments. I got to get another cup of tea going, because hopefully I can keep definitely our voice is not in mid-season form. So we'll run something a little longer here. We'll dig into the archives. We'll pull you out a Steve Rademacher one for you from last year. Hang tight.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just a little bit behind here as to get ourselves a glass of iced tea, or else we would have been raspy throughout this next half inning with you. We've got ourselves Haraguchi, Sakamoto, and Kanami to come to bat here in the top half of the fourth inning, tied at 1 apiece. The first pitch from Tajima is a fastball that just misses down. I have to say the home plate umpire tonight has been rather stingy to both pitchers. Very tight strike zone here. I guess he's getting ready for the regular season. Haraguchi tonight is 1 for 1. He had a single and an RBI his first time up. He takes a fastball for a ball, and the count is now 2-0. We are going to take another run at some predictions again this year on our page. We'll be putting up our selections each day through the month of April. Last year, we petered out into the month of May, but we're going to try to do that on the daily all the way through until at least the end of June. Try to get the first half of the season in the books. It's not easy to do to pick NPB games. Japanese baseball period, is a very difficult thing to have to predict. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is now 2-1 to Haraguchi. Just one of those things I'm not really fond of. So many dynamics. The first 5 innings are one thing. The back end of the games with the bullpens are another. But we'll like to have a little bit of fun in doing it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball. Waved that and missed. And that is going to retire Haraguchi for out number 1. He's in the books via the strikeout. So one up and one away, and that'll bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. Sakamoto had a pretty good Japan series last year, hitting near the bottom of the batting order. He was very difficult to keep off the bases. Not known for his hitting prowess, that is for certain. Had a very good playoff last year. So here comes the first offering from the lefty Tajima, who kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left center field. Racing back on it is Fukuda. He's got the room. He's going to make the catch in front of the warning track. Sakamoto gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Well, for Kanami, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled his first time up. Tigers had 3 hits in the second inning. They just weren't able to cash it in. It was kind of reminded me, I heard somebody talking about players. It was like we got to hit 2 doubles to knock a guy in from second base. Sometimes they're just so slow. They just couldn't cash in with their hits. Even though they had singles, they couldn't really string it together more. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. The only extra base hits in this game belong to the Buffaloes. 2 doubles to their name. Fastball taken on the outside corner for called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As we said, this is the last night of exhibition baseball in the Japan League, and there is a full slate of games going on around the NPB. It's pretty much all interleague play. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. Camping out in foul territory is Mune. He's there. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it for Kanami. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And the Tigers go quietly in their half of the fourth. That is now 6 in a row retired by Tajima. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the fourth. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Tigers 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to have the heart of the battle order coming up for the Buffaloes. That means Tongu Okada and Sugimoto slated to come to bat. Matangu had a double and an RBI his first time up. The way it looks like it could be the end of the line for Daiki Tajima tonight. As normally we don't see the pitchers talking so much to anybody, players, coaches, whoever it might be, when they come out of the ball game, but he is in a long conversation with the pitching coach, which for all intents and purposes could indicate his night is done. So here's the first pitch to Yuma Tongu. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Tongu with that double today and the RBI has pulled his exhibition average up to 226. He's 7 for 31. Fastball just misses outside, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Yuma Tongu. As I said too, I'm looking forward to the exhibition season coming to an end. Let's get on with the real stuff. The 1-1 pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball, waved that and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 on Tongu. We were teased last week as the Seoul series between the Dodgers and the Padres took place in Seoul, South Korea. Not sure I like the timing of that game. I would have probably preferred to see the games go off early this week. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line, and the count remains at 1-2. I wonder what Major League Baseball's thinking of that was. You have two games there, and then really nothing for about 7 or 8 days until they have to play for real. They are playing Los Angeles. They're playing the Angels in this Freeway series. Come back and play some more exhibition games. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded by Sato. He throws to first. That's going to retire Tongu on a ground out, 5-3. He's in the books for the first out of the fourth inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, T. Okada. I guess whatever makes the game better, or at least promotes the game, is also important too. Definitely want to see baseball become more of a global game. I mean, there are certain regions of the world it is played, other regions of the world where it is not even thought about. Here's the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Makes you wonder, business strategy-wise, where you would want to go into next, where you want to promote. It's already big, obviously, in Japan and in Korea. And of course, Australia is popular with the game as well, certainly in certain places more than others. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1 to Okada. You start thinking of the global game. Can you go into Europe? Are the Europeans ready to take it on? They are going to play, I believe, in England this year, the Cardinals and the Cubs. Fastball swung on, it has popped up. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. It's all about the dollars, so they're going to go where they think they can make money, Major League Baseball. Certainly there's money in Asia. There's money down under. There's money in Europe. They can do their games or a small series, get people to come and watch. But is there enough money in South America and Latin America to make it worthwhile? Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch, waved at and missed. Okada in the books for out number 2. That's the second time he's gone down tonight. First time it was a flyout, and this time a strikeout. So 2 in the books. That brings up Yataro Sugimoto to the plate. The big fella Sugimoto 0 for 1 as he had grounded to third his first time up. I've watched a lot of Buffalo games over the last couple of years, and I have to admit, I don't remember, whenever T. Okada's had an opportunity, I don't remember him doing much. There's a breaking ball that misses up. Count is 1-0. Not to slag him by any stretch of the imagination, I just can't remember him doing anything. Usually there's always a moment or 2 moments that you're watching games, as that breaking ball misses upstairs to Sugimoto, where you say, hey, I remember that player for this one item or this one thing. I'm hard-pressed to think of what T. Okada did to make me remember him. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1 to Sugimoto. Sometimes you have those players in your mind that they can't do anything right. Or maybe it's they can't do anything. Here's the 2-1. Another breaking ball, this time swung at and fouled away into the catcher Sakamoto, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yataro Sugimoto, getting the start in right field tonight. Curious to see how the Buffaloes are going to manage Tomoya Mori, how he's going to fit in. They just have a plethora of bats. Very deep team, the Orix Buffaloes. Fastball misses down, and another fastball that bounces up in front of the plate. Runs the count to 3-2. Sakamoto took that one in a funny spot on the forearm. 50 pitches already here for the right-hander Psyche, as he's ready to go again. And he kicks and he delivers the payoff pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into shallow left center field. Giving chase is the shortstop, and that is Kanami, the center fielder, also coming in, but it's going to drop in front of Ueda. That's going to be a base hit single with 2 gone here for Sugimoto as he keeps the inning alive, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. I'd mentioned it earlier in the stream that Kobayashi, to me, looked like he's gained a few pounds. I don't know if that is the case or not. We're going to take a look at him here as he comes to bat, but it looks like he has had his fair share of ramen and sushi over the past few months. As I said, I don't know if it's a good weight or a bad weight that he's put on. If he's been in the weight room, that could be a good thing, but certainly you don't want your middle infielders eating their way out of the position. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Looks like he may have been doing a few extra squats. Certainly it's his lower half that looks like it's thickened up a bit. Maybe not skipping any leg days in the offseason. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-handed hitting shortstop is waiting here, and the pitch is a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. CV asked the question, is there a reason Bauer returned to North America? It was only a 1-year deal in Yokohama. And he came back wanting or thinking he was going to get another contract here in North America. He pitched well enough over in Asia, certainly in Pitcher of the Month in June and in August in the NPB. Fastball swung on and fouled away by Kobayashi, and the count now is 1-2. And the reality of it is, I went through a checklist of teams. I went through the 30 MLB teams. I scratched off 14 teams that probably would not entertain signing Bauer for a variety of reasons. That left 16 teams that you could at least have discussions about that would maybe consider signing him. But with that being said, he says the Angels needed him, says CB in the chat. Angels could use a lot of things, but the reality of it is that you want to bring them in your locker room. Fastball swung on. It's hit into right field. Stopping at second base is going to be Sugimoto. And at first with a single is Kobayashi. That's his second hit of the ball game. Buffaloes have got something going here with 2 out as they got runners at first and second, and Yuma Mune coming to the plate. If you guys are on Instagram tonight, and if they post any highlights up, you got to see Yuma Mune coming to the plate. The first time he came to the plate, he had a full-on catcher's shin guard on his right leg. Let's see if they're going to do that again here. And I wonder what the reason for that would be, but it's actually a kind of a funny sight that you see a full-on catcher's shin guard right up over top of the leg. I mean, he is playing third base tonight, so it kind of makes you wonder what's going on. 5 for 26 for Mune on the exhibition season. And this time here, he's got a regular shin guard on. It is just his normal piece as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. So maybe it was needed for some repairs and he couldn't get anything that matched his size. But back to CV's question about Trevor Bauer, that we'll talk about some of the quirks here in a second. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. And fielding it and coming in hard is Onandera. He fires it in, and then it's going to be cut off, and that's going to load the bases. Sugimoto stops at third. Kobayashi is at second, and now Mune at first with the bases loaded, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. And probably if they had anybody but Sugimoto running at second base, who knows what would have happened, but it looks like we got a pinch hitter here. Wakatsuki's night is done. It's going to be Tomoya Mori coming in to pinch hit. So Tomoya Mori, and one would expect that he will stay in the ball game to catch. So Mori coming in for Wakatsuki here in the last half of the fourth inning. In the exhibition season, Mori really struggling at the plate. 5 for 28, batting 179. He's got no homers and 5 runs driven in. But the table has been set. All with 2 out has been the action. Sugimoto, Kobayashi, and Mune all with singles to load the bases. And the left-handed hitting veteran catcher in the ball game here. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Maury. I was thinking about Trevor Bauer. When Trevor Bauer was first drafted by the Diamondbacks, I believe it was the Diamondbacks, and he had, I guess, a whole pile of tricks, all kinds of little stuff that he'd have. He had his own workout routine, his own regiment, his whole thing. And he's not a dumb guy. He's a pretty smart character, actually, Bauer, in terms of, having an understanding of pitching, understanding of what his body can and can't do. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball that just misses outside. The count is now 2-0 to Maury. And the thing about Bauer is that he is outside the norm. There were a lot of organizations, they couldn't understand what his routines were. He bucked the trend. Of course, he went over to the Cleveland Indian organization. Same thing over there, but they could live with that because he was able to produce and they liked what he brought to the table. And Terry Francona, a little bit more of I would say an open mind, but a mind that would be acceptable to that, as that's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. Moving over underneath it is the catcher, Sakamoto. He's going to have room. He makes the catch. And a unproductive at bat here by Maury as he pops up with the bases loaded. That is going to end the inning. We'll come on back and talk a little bit more about Trevor Bauer in that situation when we return in a few. No runs in the inning. There were 3 hits, no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. That is 5 so far in the first 4 innings for the Buffaloes. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. I think we may have ourselves a pitching change, but we'll let you know when we get back in a bit. I think Tajima's night is done, so we'll take a little extra long ourselves here for this one. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to the bullpen. As anticipated, the night for Daiki Tajima is over. It is going to be our right-hander. It is going to be Anderson Espinoza. And I am interested to see him pitch, as it is my first time checking in on this player. Espinoza is a new signing by the Buffaloes, and he is going to be making his first foray into the NPB. He last pitched in Major League Baseball, did the Venezuelan, in 2022 for the Chicago Cubs. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. It is supposed to be the pitcher, Hiroto Saiki. Hiroto Saiki at the plate. I didn't see if there was any change here. It does look like Saiki is still in the ballgame, but he is moonwalking out of the batter's box, and the count now goes to 1-1. Espinoza, a native of Caracas, Venezuela. Last pitched in the big leagues with the Cubs in 2022. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. He had a record of 0-2 with a 5.40 ERA with 19 strikeouts for the Cubs. As here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and Saiki down on strikes looking. So Espinoza puts the opposite pitcher away. He's gone for out number 1. That'll bring up the top of the order in Kai Ueda. Originally, Espinoza was signed by the Boston Red Sox as an international free agent in October of 2014. It was reported that he was given a signing bonus of $1.8 million. He was the fourth-ranked international pitcher coming out at that time. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-1 on Ueda. Espinoza was part of the deal to the San Diego Padres when they flipped him for Drew Pomeranz. Fastball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2 on Ueda. Ueda is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and he has popped to first. Espinoza was then flipped again to the Chicago Cubs in exchange for Jake Marisnick. Fastball swung on, lined over to third, fielded by Mune as he knocks it down, but he's not going to be able to make the play. We'll have to get a look at that one again here to see how that ended up catching him. Safe at first base is Umeda. I would think that's going to be a base hit, but we're going to see that one again. Umeda got it off the end of the bat. Mune had slid to his knees to try to catch it. It looked like it was going to short hop. Smothered it, got away on him. That's a play really I would think you have to make. I'm curious to see what the scoring decision is going to be on that one. But aboard at first is Ueda, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Takuma Nakano. I would not bat an eye if that goes down as an error, but we're going to wait for the official score. First pitch at 96 miles an hour to Nakano is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So it was in May of 2022 that Espinoza made his major league debut as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Nakano. He only appeared in 7 games for the Cubs that year, and as we said, he pitched in 18 1/3 innings. The end of the year, he was outrighted. He ended up back with the Padres for last season, but never got out of the minor leagues. There's the breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. But Espinoza was signed in January by the Orix Buffaloes, and this is his first foray into the NPB. And that is where he is, the 26-year-old right-hander. And the pitch on the way, it is a fastball. Oh, boy. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, just missed inside. That ball had a lot of backdoor run on it. It surprised me probably as much as it surprised the umpire who didn't give him the call. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Telekinesis for Cats says that Bauer is a cautionary tale. Yeah, blank around and find out. There's a ball that misses outside. It's 2-2 to Nakano. Yeah, that's the problem. You have to tread cautiously, especially when you are in that type of position. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and it's going to get down. It's in the corner, and it's going to be extra bases. Running it down is Sugimoto. Rounding third and heading home is Ueda, and he is going to come in with a run. And it is an error on Mune, by the way, so that will be an unearned run. And that will be the second run of the ball game here for the Tigers on the extra base hit by Nakano, who drives in Ueda with the second run for them. It was a breaking ball that kind of hung up inside. Nice piece of hitting there by Nakano. He was able to get the bat head out on the ball and yank it into the corner. It was a good pulled ball for certain. Nakano is at second base with the double. That brings Dan Onodera to the plate. So I was saying about Trevor Bauer. Yeah, absolutely. And it was noted that he didn't get along with Garrett Cole at UCLA. Had his own training methods. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. One of the things that I will say in defense of Bauer, but it's also in maybe hindsight, pointing my finger at organizations as well. We used to have some pitchers that would come to our program. We had some guys who could really bring it. but they were not on the same page always with our pitching coaches. There's a fastball swung on, tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. I remember having a conversation with our coaches or pitching coaches one year and saying, like, look, these guys are really talented. They come in, they want to bring in their own program. My question to you is why are we bringing them in the first place? They're not on the program that you believe in. They've got their own thing. But we had a kid come from Weatherford College down in Texas. So there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 1-2, who was throwing in the low 90s. And we had a transfer from New Jersey Institute of Technology, who also came in throwing in the low 90s. Both of those players had power arms for the conference that we were in. But yet our pitching coaches wanted them to do what their program was. And I said, well, that's great, but why are they here? Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to the third base side. Espinoza comes off the mound, fields it, fires across the diamond, and Anandera is gone on a ground out 5-3 for out number 2. Advancing over to third is Nakano, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. So certainly when you get an opportunity to sit down and talk to players, I remember when Derek Johnson was the pitching coach at Vanderbilt, as under the program run there by Corbin, I think it's Dan Corbin, they would go out and recruit players that would be on a similar mindset to what they wanted. They were looking for a philosophy that matched Vanderbilt's. Not Vanderbilt matching their philosophy. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Sato. And I don't mean that out of disrespect. I mean that full on, that guys will have an opportunity to go somewhere, but you have to go into the program that you're going into, buy into their program, what they're wanting to do. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-0 on Sato. Sheldon Noisy waiting his turn on deck. 2-1, the Tigers have taken the lead here in the 5th inning. Unearned run scored by Kai Ueda to put them in front 2-1. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, it's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count now is 2-1 to Sato. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Espinoza wearing the rare 00. Be curious to know what his rationale, why he wanted that number. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. Trying to remember major league players that wore 0. I remember Al Oliver for a while wore the number 0, but I think that matched his name more than anything. 0 for Oliver, or 0 in that case. Here's the pitch. Fastball that just misses. I'm not sure where that pitch was. That looked pretty darn good. It's going to run the count to 3-2. I can tell you this much. Teruaki Sato tonight has been a beneficiary of some pretty good calls. That pitch there looked pretty darn good. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sato. As the left-handed hitting third baseman steps out and takes a couple practice hacks. Now we're ready to get back at it again. And again, Anderson steps off the backside of the mound as he's not quite ready to go yet. Catcher Tomoya Mori gives him the sign, and here we are. Here comes the 3-2. And the pitch is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over behind the third base dugout. The count is 3-2 still. So back to the Trevor Bauer conversation. Here are the teams that, could potentially want him, and they're looking at it saying, well, does he match our philosophy? Is that somebody we could deal with? I'm also sure that the leadership group is probably going to have conversations about him as well. Here's the 3-2. Split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Sato in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it for out number 3 here for the Tigers. They got a run in the inning, as it was Ueda who had come around to score. There was 1 hit There was an error, and there was a runner left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Tigers are now leading 2-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back at the call of the bottom of the 5th inning when we return after this. We'll break down more thoughts on why we don't think Trevor Bauer has a job to this point in Major League Baseball. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. The starting pitcher, Hiroto Saiki, back on the mound for inning number 5. 60 pitches through the first 4 innings. I make a prediction. I think that this will probably be his last inning of work, and then we will see a parade of pitchers for the Tigers. That would be my guess here. It is going to be the top of the order. It'll be Fukuda, Oda, and Nishikawa to come to bat to face him. The first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Fukuda tonight 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also scored a run. The only run for the Buffaloes. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Fukuda. Fukuda does choke up on the bat. It is a rather large bat, but he chokes up a good 2-3 inches off the end. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. One team I thought that might be of interest for Bauer would be the Houston Astros. Astros' window to win here has probably got a couple more years left. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Fielded by Nakano, he throws to first, and Fukuda has gone on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for out number 1, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. But I think if I'm Dana Brown, and if I am the leadership group, first of all, I'm going to go to the coaching staff. I'm going to go to the veteran players, specifically the pitchers. You're going to go see Verlander. You're going to go see Urquidy and Valdez and all those guys and say, hey, look, is this somebody that if we bring him in, can you guys keep him under wraps? There's a breaking ball that swung on it, is lifted into shallow left field, moving over underneath it and making the catch is Noisy. That's going to retire Oda for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. And so how is he going to disrupt the apple cart? If he bring him in, you got to be able to make sure that you guys can keep him under your program and not on his program. So I'd be curious to know what a Verlander would have to say if Trevor Bauer had an opportunity to come there. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Nishikawa for ball 1. Nishikawa has flown out to left, and he's aligned to second his 2 trips to the plate. 7 for 29 in the exhibition season. His average is dipped to 241. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So yeah, sometimes curious to see what the thought process would be behind some of the teams as they would want to do it. Another team who could use him could be the Mets, but they're so dysfunctional. He actually might fit in really well there. There's a ball that swung on and missed, and the count is 2-1. But even there, I don't think Steve Cohen would spend his money on Trevor Bauer. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and a grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is now 2-2. I think of a team that could maybe be a fit for Bauer could be the Minnesota Twins. If they are doing well by mid-season, do you want to bring them in for a full year? You go to your leadership group and say, hey, how could Bauer help us do well? Central Division is fairly weak. He could be an arm that not only puts you over the hump, but might even win a playoff series if you're in that wild card. Best of 3. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Nishikawa. Team that had him, the Cincinnati Reds, aren't exactly racing to his door to bring him back. He pitched really well for the Reds, had a really good time there. But, of course, he's not pitching there for a variety of reasons. So here's the 2-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is a defensive swing, grounded over to first. The first baseman, Haraguchi, had to come off the bag to field it. He flips it to the pitcher covering. It's going to go on the books as a ground out, 3-1. That's going to do it here. We've got what we like to call our Japanese halftime. It's going to be a little extended break here in between the innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board for the Buffaloes. We go to the top of the 6th. It is a 2-1 ball game. We'll be back in just a bit here. As we say, we're going to put the music on loop. We'll be back with all the action in just a little bit. As it is the halftime here in Japan, we'll take our little break as well. Hang tight, everybody. Top of the 6th, just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. We'll get caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard here as we're waiting for the second half of this ball game to resume. As we said, we like to call this the Japanese halftime, as it is going to be the Buffaloes here and the Tigers ready to resume the action. It looks like Espinoza is going to be staying in for his second inning of work. In the top of the eighth inning, the Bay Stars have a 3-0 lead over the Fighters. It is, I believe, 15 consecutive innings that the Fighters have been shut out. 3-0 Bay Stars, as we said, top of the eighth at Escon Field in Hokkaido. At the Tokyo Dome, the Giants are clinging to a 5-4 lead. That's in the top of the sixth inning against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Bottom of the sixth inning, the Lions have a 3-2 lead over the Swallows. That's at the Baluna Dome. Bottom of the ninth inning at the Bantalin Dome, it is a 1-0 ball game. The Marines are leading the Dragons. In the top of the seventh inning at the Mazda Zoom Zoom Stadium, it is the Carp leading the Hawks 3-0. And of course, this one here is a 2-1 ball game with Sheldon Noisy coming to bat. He is 1 for 2 in this one, a single and 2 trips. He is batting now 194 in the exhibition season. First pitch breaking ball delivered, grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by Oda. He throws to first, and Noisy is in the books on a ground out. 4-3 for the first out of the inning. One Tiger up and one Tiger down, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Fumihiro Haraguchi. But it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here. It looks like Haraguchi's night is done. So they're going to empty the benches here. This is going to be number 33. This is Kento Itohara. So Itohara coming to bat here. 7 for 26 in the exhibition season. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Itohara batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Espinoza, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. The right-hander Espinoza ready to go again. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded, or it looks like maybe it was caught. Maybe it looked like I thought it was going to be grounded on the hop, but maybe it was caught there. I'm going to have to get that look again. Hit that ball. It was a catch there by the second baseman, Oda. I thought that ball might have hit the ground and taken on a hop, but nope. That's going to retire Itohara on a lineout for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. And for Sakamoto, he is 0 for 2 tonight, bouncing into a fielder's choice and flying out to center field. Here's the pitch. First pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Curious to see if they're going to use Espinoza as a starter, or if they're going to choose to use him as a reliever. Also interested to see, with the loss of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, what their thoughts are going to be for their rotation this year, as that fastball is taken for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2 on Sakamoto. Everything is all going to play out for us in that first week. We'll have a full-on idea of where these teams are going to head and what their rotations are going to look like. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball swung on. It is tapped slowly foul just past the third base coach's box. Count remains at 0-2. Don't forget to mark the channel if you're new here. We will be on the airwaves a lot this year. We've already stated our goal. 150 games is our target. We're going to be doing some major league games as well. We'll get those ones posted up over the next little bit. We are going to kick off the NPB season next week in the middle of the night North American time. As there is a fastball taken for a called third strike. Sakamoto stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the sixth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard for the Tigers. Score as we go to the bottom of 6, 2-1. I'll come back with some more thoughts right after this, but it is time for another break on our end. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight as we are doing the Buffaloes and the Tigers from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We'll be right back in just a couple moments, everybody. It is the Buffaloes and the Tigers as we are cruising to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Louie is checked in to listen to the ball game tonight, and we thank you for being here. Great that you are making it in for the last little bit here of this one. Normally, he does jump in sometimes, and sometimes he listens on delay, and we are excited to have you with us. We were just saying in the last half inning, we will be doing the opener, as it is going to be the game between the Buffaloes and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We'll be calling that on a very early Friday morning North America time, so hopefully you could join us for the Japanese opener on Friday. NPB baseball all the way. We do have a pitching change. It is going to be Hidetaka Okadome as he is coming into the ball game. There are some defensive changes. It looks like that Sheldon Noisy's night is done. But we're going to have to see where some of these changes will slot into the batting order when they come up in the next half inning. As the first pitch fastball delivered to Yuma Tongu, it misses inside for ball one, and the count is quickly 1-0. So this is the second pitcher now used by the Hanshin Tigers, and as we said, we kind of expect that there will be a parade from here on out. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field, moving over underneath it. As the center fielder, Ueda, he's there, he makes the catch. And Tagu is gone for the first out of the inning, so 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the designated hitter in T. Okada. Okada tonight 0 for 2. Fly out to right and a strikeout in his 2 trips to the plate. We'll just keep our eye here. It is still Okada in the ball game. So the right-hander, Okadome, ready to go again. Fastball swung on. This ball is hammered foul down the right field line. Count quickly 0-1 to T. Okada. So Okadome on in relief here. The starter, Psyche, as he kicks and delivers, there is a sinker that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Okada to be followed by Yataro Sugimoto here in this half inning. Louis says it looks like a quick game. Not so much tonight. Fastball misses down and away. Last night's game was a quick game. I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Fighters and the Bay Stars were done and wrapped up. This one here is probably going to be another hour or so. I would have to think, as we are here in the last half of the 6th. Breaking ball just misses, and the count now goes to 2-2. So probably pretty much just a normal paced game on this one here. And I would think it'll slow a bit with the pitching changes here in the last part of the ball game. That usually is the part that slows the game down a little bit. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Okadome delivers it as a fastball swung on and missed. And Okada in the books again for his second time tonight on strikes. That's 2 away here, and that brings up the right fielder, Yataro Sugimoto. And for a ball game that is only a 2-1 ball game, there's been a lot of traffic on the base paths. 2-5-0 for the Tigers, 1-7-1 for the Buffaloes. If I go back and take a look, I don't know if, based on my box scores, Psyche did not walk anybody tonight. First pitch breaking ball swung on, popped up right at home plate. Sakamoto underneath it. He's there. He makes the catch, and it's Sugimoto gone for the third out of the inning. Well, if they have innings like this, this will quicken up the pace, and be able to go home and get to bed a little bit earlier. But no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are moving to the top half of the 7th inning. Your score is the Hanshin Tigers 2, the Orix Buffaloes 1. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is Anderson Espinoza coming on for his 3rd inning of work. 31 pitches for the right-hander through his first 2 innings. He did allow a run which was unearned, which has been the difference in this game. It was a Yumamune error that led to the Tigers' 2nd run of the ball game. He is supposed to be facing Kanami, Saiki, and Ueda. We'll see how that shapes up as the pitcher's spot is supposed to come up 2nd in the inning here. First pitch fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kanami. I have to wait a little bit here to make sure that that pitch is a strike. That pitch, there was a lot of arm side run to it. In some ways, I didn't think it was necessarily a strike. There's a fastball lifted into left field, moving back, and camping out underneath it is the left fielder Nishikawa, and he's going to make the catch. Kanami in the books for out number 1, and that is supposed to bring up the left fielder Mikawa now. So it looks like he is in that spot in the batting order. So this is the left fielder Yukio Maegawa. So he is now hitting in the 9 spot where Hiroto Saiki was. And the first pitch is swung on. This ball is belted into right field, and it's going to get down into the corner. This is going to be extra bases. Rounding first and heading into second will be Maegawa, as he's got himself a 1-out double. He absolutely roped that one into the corner. So Yukio Maegawa on with a double here with 1 gone, and it's going to bring up the top of the order in Kai Ueda. Well, for Ueda, he is officially 0 for 3. He has popped the first, he has struck out, and he reached on an error by Mune back in the 5th inning that led to the 2nd run of the ball game for the Tigers. So Espinoza works himself to the set position. He checks the runner at second. Now delivers. Fastball swung on. Popped up into center field. Moving back on it is Fukuda. He makes the catch and he fires it back into the infield. Tagging at second was the base runner Maegawa, but he is going to have to retreat back to the bag as Ueda is gone for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 gone here, and that's going to bring up the second baseman Takuma Nakano. Well, for Nakano, he's had a good night at the office tonight. He is 2 for 3. He is a single, a double, and he's driven in a run. His offense tonight has improved his exhibition numbers, 7 for 53, batting 132 in the exhibition season. But you'd never know it tonight, as he's been on base 2 of the 3 times he's come to the plate. So Espinoza works himself to the set position. And here comes the first offering to Nakano. And there's a fastball that comes inside, but it's fouled away. Just couldn't get the bat out of the way. Hit the end of the bat. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakano here. Louis says about being a lot easier for you guys in the UK. Yep, certainly Friday, our time. If I'm not mistaken, that'll be about a 1 in the afternoon first pitch. No, maybe not. It would probably be 11 in the morning first pitch for you guys. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Nakano. That looked like it was a 2-seam variety. I don't know. I'd have to take a look. Maybe it was even a sinker. Didn't look like it was a split finger pitch, although it had that downward movement. Looked like it was more of a sinker than it was a 2-seam, just because of the motion. So here comes the 0-2 as the right-hander works to the set and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped softly to the shortstop, Kobayashi, who fields it, moving it to the backhand side into the 6 hole, and that's going to retire Nakano for out number 3. That is going to do it here in the 7th inning for the Tigers. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and that runner, Maegawa, was stranded aboard. We are now moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Your score is the Tigers 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Be curious to see if Espinoza comes back out for another inning of work. That was pretty good by him. We'll be back in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll be Kobayashi, Mune, and Mori scheduled to come to bat. As the children who are on the field are making their way out, there was supposed to be, or at least we thought this year, we were going to see the Orix Buffaloes with some cheerleaders. It was announced last year that they were one of the few teams that didn't have cheerleaders in the NPB. I think there were 9 teams. And they were one that did not have cheerleaders, but they were going to be the first team that would have male and female cheerleaders. But we haven't seen anything to that as of yet. Well, we do have a pitching change. It'll be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Hanshin Tigers. Replacing Hidetaka Okadome is going to be a right-hander, and this is going to be number 34, Taisi Urisahara. So he is coming on in relief. They list him as a second-team pitcher, so we'll have to wait and see what he has to offer and what he's got to bring. But this is Urisahara. There have been some changes defensively that we're going to have to catch up on, usually when they come to bat. For the Tigers, there's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi 2 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and double in 2 trips. As he waves at that split finger pitch, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 ball game here. It is in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tigers clinging to the lead. As the right-hander delivers, it is a split finger pitch missing down and away. Count now 1-2 to Kobayashi. Be curious to see how this game will play out. Obviously, the Tigers are emptying their benches, even though they have the lead. Last game of the exhibition season, not been playing everybody, or they have been playing a lot of players. Maybe not necessarily playing to win as much as just getting guys the opportunity to get in there. There's a split finger pitch swung on, grounded to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop Kanami, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Kobayashi on a ground out 6-3. That was a split finger pitch that had a little bit of depth to that one. We've seen some pitches tonight be hung up in the air. So interested to see the manager, Okada, had come out. I think that's the end of the night. Only one batter faced by the right-hander here. That's how it looks like here. We're going to take a look here in a second as they have the pitching coach out on the mound, but that looks like it's going to be a short night for Uri Sahara. That's exactly what it is. His night is over. He's coming out of the ball game. And we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. So hang tight, everybody. We'll see what the Tigers have up their sleeve here as we'll come back in just a couple moments. It is a left-hander coming in, and we'll get all that information for you when we return right after this.
Thank you, Freddie. And hey, guys, let's open up a 5-card pack of 2023 Topps Baseball. And remember, during this timeout, you can also go visit some other channels. Oh, look, Jeter Downs. Bleh. Diamond Princess, she's great. Oh, there's a cubby. Screw that. Hey, go check out the one and only Bud Stoney. Oh, here's one for another Hollis build. And you can stay anywhere you want to when you're around Freddie and the Seattle area. That's good for Mr. Enfuego. And you know what? Why don't we bring out one of the Oakland A's for a league of her own? Bingo! Thank you, Freddie. Pitchers look like they're ready. Let's play ball!
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game, go check him out. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. It is Haruya Shimamoto who is taking over on the mound here for the Tigers. Lefty is being entrusted to face Yuma Mune, who is coming to bat here. Mune is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in his last at bat against the starter Sankey. He was 1 for 2 tonight against him. Takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We had a good laugh early on that when Mooney had come up to bat the first time, he was wearing a full-on catcher's shin guard right over his knee. There was a fastball swung on. This is going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Mooney's got his second hit of the night. So that would drive you crazy, wanting to bring in the left-handed pitching specialist to face the lefty, and he can't get him out. Mooney with a base hit into right field with one gone, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. Well, Mori entered the game back in the 4th inning when he pinched hit for Kenya Wakatsuki. He popped out to the catcher in his only time to the plate. It was a 2-out opportunity with the bases loaded, and Mori could not deliver. 5 for 29 in this exhibition season for the left-handed hitting catcher of the Buffaloes. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Mori definitely a double play candidate, as he doesn't run particularly well. Batting here on the left side, ready from the offering from the lefty Shimamoto, and the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. After this one is over, we'll give you the full recap of the games around the NPB. And then we got a few nights off, and we'll be ready to rock and roll come the middle of the night on Friday. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Curious to see if the hosted stats are going to be up or if that's going to be running. I don't even know if that's even workable at this point. I tried to pull up some stats. I don't see anything there at all. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. We'll see if they have the NPB scoreboard this year at any point. I don't even know if the website is even working. That would be very disappointing, the English website. Fastball swung on, lifted, foul down the left field line. It's going to drift into the seats. Anything that we see here, it looks like that site is down for the count. So count remains at 2-2 to Maury, as he bats here in the last half of the seventh inning. Runner at first and one away. The manager of the Buffaloes, Nakajima, looking on with amusement here as they throw over to first base, and getting back in time safely as the runner Mune. So 2-2 to Maury. The left-hander Shimamoto holds set. Now delivers. Fastball misses outside. That's going to run the count to 3-2. Keep your eye on Mune here. We'll see if they put him in motion. Look for a potential strike him out, throw him out. Not the worst position to run in here, because the top of the order, Fukuda, would be coming up next. So here comes the 3-2 to Maury, and the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. Mune was on the run. He rounds second. He's heading to third, and he rounds third, and they're going to hold him up. That's going to be a base hit for Maury. Mune goes first to third on the single. That will bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. And Tomoya Mori did a good job of keeping his hands inside the ball and being able to hammer that one into right field. So again, driving you crazy as a manager, you have a left-hander comes into the game to face two left-handers, and you can't get either one of them out. So much for the situational lefty. And now Shuhei Fukuda's night is done. It's going to be Leandro Cedeno coming in. We have a conference on the mound. I wonder if they're going to take the lefty out here. We may have ourselves yet another pitching change in the works. So let's see what the Tigers have up their sleeves. Maybe the lefty will be better off getting the right-handed hitters out. Well, Shimamoto is going to stay in the ball game here. He's been ineffective thus far. Mune, the runner at third. Mori, the runner at first. Cedeno coming to the plate. Cedeno 6 for 24 with a homer and 3 RBIs during the exhibition play. He's got a chance here to get the Buffaloes all knotted back up again with the Tigers. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's 1-0. Ryo Oda is the hitter scheduled to bat next. We'll see how this plays out if the bases get loaded up. Pretty good crowd for exhibition standards at the Kyocera Dome tonight. Some of the other games that we watched in this exhibition season, it was not so much, but it is basically a home game for both teams in some ways. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted in the left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. One run's going to score. Mori is going to make his way over to third. And Leandro Cedeno delivers, as it is a single and an RBI for him. Mune comes in with the tying run. That makes the score 2-2. That might be a pretty quick night for Cedeno, as it looks like he is going to be pinch run for. Mori goes all the way around to third. We'll see who's coming into pinch run, and that should bring up Rio Oda to the plate. So curious to see what the Buffaloes have up their sleeve here. If we're going to see Oda, if we're going to see a pinch hitter, I would not bat an eye if we saw somebody like a Marwin Gonzalez. We didn't get the start tonight, or as he was in the other game the other night. We do have a pinch runner over at first base. It is going to be number 41. And that is going to be Kodai Sano. And one would expect that Kodai Sano will come in to play center field. And it is number 31 coming into the ball game. It is still Oda here to hit. Oda's 9 for 30 in the exhibition season. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs, batting an even 300. He is 1 for 3 tonight. There goes the runner down to second base, and the throw down is not in time. Sano has picked that one cleanly, and that's going to put 2 runners in scoring position, but more importantly, it's going to keep the Buffaloes out of a potential double play. So Oda ahead in the count here at 1-0. Oda batting, and then Ryoma Nishikawa waiting his turn on deck. So the lefty here, Shimamoto, has not gotten anybody out since he's come in the ball game. 3 batters he has faced. He has given up 3 singles back to back to back. Now the Buffaloes have a chance to take the lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Count goes even to 1-1. Haven't really had a big gambling crowd in here in the evening. Sometimes we get different crowds that come in. The gamblers, once the season gets going, they get really into the Japanese baseball. The over-unders, the first 5s, final scores. Exhibition baseball is pretty much impossible to pick. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short. What a fantastic play by the shortstop. Not sure if that's still the shortstop Kanami in the ballgame or if they've taken him out. They did make some wholesale changes. The infield was in. The shortstop had to dive. It's Obata who is now in at short. He had the dive to his right. Got up, checked the runner over at third. Unbelievable play. Fantastic. And he's able to gun down Oda at first. It goes in the books as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 2. It's going to leave it all up to Ryoma Nishikawa. 2-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Buffaloes have tied the ball game. You got runners at second and third. They're looking to try to break this one apart. There's the first offering to Nishikawa. It's a fastball that misses down and in for ball 1. Yumatagu is the hitter slated to be up next as he is waiting his turn on deck. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nishikawa. And here comes the pitch from the left-hander. Fastball that misses down low, and the count goes to 2-0. They do have an open base. But that's not your idea of walking or losing a left-handed hitter to face a right-hander. The lefty reliever here, Shimamoto, has not had any success against the left-handed batters he's faced in this inning, as they have gone 2 for 2 against him. Singles by Mune and Mori. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is now 3-0, and now the third left-handed batter he's had to face. And Nishikawa, he's about ready to walk. So 3 balls and no strikes it is, as Tongu is getting ready for his turn to come to the stick. And here comes the pitch. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. Count goes to 3-1 on Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The left-handed hitting left fielder Waits on the offering, and here comes the pitch. As Shimamoto works to the set position. He kicks and fires. Another breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Oh, I think Nishikawa wanted that one back. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. And he knew it. As soon as that ball dropped in there, he knew that pitch, I think he wanted that one back. So 3-2 to Nishikawa. Runner at second is Sano. Runner at third is Mori. And here comes the 3-2 offering. As the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. And that's going to get a run in as that ball got away from the catcher. Tomoya Mori has come in to score. That's going to be a wild pitch. Advancing over to third is Sano. And that's going to be ball 4 to Nishikawa. He's going to be aboard with a walk. No RBI on that one. And that will bring up the first baseman, Yumatangu. Oh, you couldn't be any more unlucky than that. This is the first time tonight that the Buffaloes have now had a lead. Good job there by Tomoya Mori to read it and get away from the catcher, and he was able to score easily from third. And that is going to be it for the left-hander. Not sure what took him so long, but we'd seen enough. They're going to be bringing in somebody else to face Yumatangu. He's getting pats on the back as he leaves. I'm not sure for what, but that was one ugly outing by the left-hander Shimamoto. Hang tight, everybody. We got a pitching change on our hand. We'll be back in just a few. We'll let you know what that is when we return. We'll be right back in just a moment, everybody. We have a pitching change. It is the Hanshin Tigers going to the bullpen. We'll be back when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Yumatangu stepping up to bat here. He's going to face Ren Kajia. Right-hander has come on in relief. He's the third pitcher used in the inning by the Tigers. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Tongu, and the count is 1-0. 2 runs already on the board here for the Buffaloes in this half inning. They've taken the lead now 3-2 over Hanshin. As it is a RBI single by off the bat of Leandro Cedeno and a wild pitch that brought home the 2 runs here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. There goes the runner off to second base. The ball is cut off by the pitcher. That's going to be a stolen base by Nishikawa. It's going to put runners at second and third. That's going to keep the Buffaloes out of a fielder's choice potential situation. 2 balls and no strikes to Tongu. T. Okada waits his turn on deck. Our friend Mick is in the house tonight. We welcome you to the house, Mick. Appreciate you for being here. Great having you stopping by. We bounced in and out a little bit. It all gets going for real a little later in the week. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Tongu. curious to see how that will play out. We'll probably play along at least in the first month with everybody. We may put together a little kitty of ourselves, putting some money on some of the games. There's a fastball that is swung on. This is lifted into deep right field, moving back to the edge of the warning track, and there to make the catch is the right fielder Anandera, and that is going to do it for the Buffaloes. But the damage has been done as they were able to get a couple of runs in the inning, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and there was a couple of runners left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Tigers 2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. 6 outs to go for the Buffaloes. I have a feeling Espinosa's night is done because Nakajima is making his way out to talk to the home plate umpire. We'll get that change for you when we come back here in just a minute, right after this. It is a 3-2 lead as we are moving to the top half of the 8th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Tigers 2. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Looks like we have a little bit of confusion here. I think that Nakajima wanted to make another change or two. We don't know what that change is going to be, but it looks like a defensive change as there is a fielder coming out of the ball game. We do have a new pitcher for the Orix Buffaloes. It is going to be number 96. And that would be, looks like it is going to be Taito Takashima, as he is coming on in relief here. So Taito Takashima on in relief to pitch the 8th inning. A right-hander here who has appeared in 3 games and has an ERA of 0 so far in the exhibition season. I'm looking here for Yuki Utagawa. Utagawa's changed numbers this year. I could have sworn last year he was in the 90s. First pitch fastball misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Just trying to catch up on some of the changes. I still have Dan Anandera at the plate here, or at least on our scorecard, is what it looks like here still. We'll do a double take on that one. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. It is still Anandera in the game. But it looks like Obata is in the place of Noisy, so he will get his opportunity to come to bat here in a bit. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded on a couple of hops over to second. Fielded by Oda. He throws to first, and Anandera in the books on a ground out 4-3. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring Teruki Sato to the plate. As I mentioned before, we're just taking a look at the changes. Not only are the changes, they're not necessarily always straight up either, which is why we're having to catch up a little bit. They have been coming in a wholesale variety. So we're just marking it off as we go here. Here comes the first offering to Sato. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on, grounded back to the pitcher on 1 hop. He fields it, he throws to first, and Sato in the books on the ground out 1-3 for out number 2. So 4 pitches and 2 outs here in the 8th inning for the right-hander of the Buffaloes. So Taito Takashima making it look easy. So here comes the first offering as the right-hander delivers a fastball, taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. This is Obata making his first at bat. He came in to replace Kanami. He is 2 for 18 in the exhibition season. And the pitch comes in. It is a fastball that is dropped by Mori, and the count goes even at 1-1. So Ryohei Obata in the ball game now. It is the top of the 8th inning. It is a 3-2 Buffalo lead over the Tigers. As the pitch is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. Tigers had fallen behind 1-0 in the first inning. They had tied it in the top of the second. Then they took the lead in the 5th inning, as there is a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into left field. And coming in hard is the left fielder. It's supposed to be Nishikawa. It looks like it's going to be a new outfielder out there, but it is going to retire Obata for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Tigers 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to come to bat. It'll be Tiyokata, Yataro Sugimoto, and Kotaro Kobayashi. We'll see how this all plays out here in just a moment. We're just catching up on some of the changes, as it is a new left fielder for the Buffaloes. It was Taishi Haruka who made that catch to end the last half inning, as he came in for Ryoma Nishikawa. So Haruka on, and it is going to be an Ishii on the mound for the Hanshin Tigers. This is Daichi Ishii, as he will take over here. This is going to be the 6th pitcher used tonight by the Tigers. It looks like there is a new catcher as well behind the plate. It'll be Ryotaro Umeno. So Umeno will be coming in and taking over. And the first pitch from Ishii is a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Okada. So Daichi Ishii on in relief, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Buffaloes are clinging to that lead. Definitely want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight, as this will be the final exhibition game to go in the books. It all gets going here in a few days in Japan. 5 days from now, on the Friday at Japanese time, everything will get going. Breaking ball that drops in, making the count 1-2 to Okada. Right-hander Ishii ready to go again, as he works to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded by the second baseman, Nakano, who throws to first. And Okada is in the books. It's a ground out, 4-3. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yataro Sugimoto. was a tough pitch, just watching that one there, the way it had the movement to it. But just to make contact there to get it in play was a piece of art. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside to Sugimoto for a ball, and the count's 1-0. 1 for 3 tonight. Sugimoto's got a single, a ground out, and a pop out to his name. 8 for 22 now in the exhibition season. He's batting .364. Fastball swung on and fouled away into the shins of the right-handed hitting right fielder. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Once this game is done, we'll do a recap of all the scores from around the NPB. And then we will call it a night. As we said, we'll be looking forward to getting back at it with you guys again. Thursday, North American time, we'll try to call a opening day game. As that pitch misses down to Sugimoto, it's 2-1. A little bit tied up in the daytime myself, but looking at the Rangers and the Cubs, possibly Thursday afternoon, the World Series champions and the Chicago Cubs going head-to-head. Pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. If I can make that happen, I will do it. And then double back and do the late night ball game between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. Undecided on what I'm going to do for the weekend, if we're going to stay with that series the whole way, or if we may try to call one of everybody just to get a chance to see everyone. There's a fastball swung on, lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. The count is 2-2. I'll have to take a look at the schedule. I certainly don't want to be doing any Saturday or Sunday night games at 2 a.m. But we'll make a decision on that as it gets closer. Could be a potential situation where we do that, but not one that we would like to do. We'll definitely do the opening night one. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Sugimoto is going to get himself a 1-out walk. I would anticipate a pinch runner for him once he gets to the base. And that's exactly what we're going to have. It's going to be Watanabe who is coming in to run for Sugimoto. So as I look ahead to the schedule, all of the games on the Saturday start at 2 p.m. And then on the Sunday, it is a 1 o'clock start. We've got Marwin Gonzalez coming in to pinch hit for Kotaro Kobayashi here. So Gonzalez on to pitch hit. The switch hitter is hitting from the left side. And the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So Watanabe, the runner at first for Sugimoto. Gonzalez, the batter here with 1 gone in the last half of the 8th inning. Buffaloes are looking to pad their lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Watanabe rounding second, digging for third, and he is going to slide in safely. The ball's deflected off the glove of the shortstop, Obata, and it trickles over to third, but Gonzalez is going to stay at first with a single. Nice piece of hitting there by the veteran switch hitter. He got a fastball there, extended the arms, was able to stay through the ball, and he was able to get himself yank a hit through the 4-hole. And that puts runners now at first and third with 1 gone. It's slated to bring up Yuma Mune. Well, the bullpen has been dicey tonight for the Tigers, that is for certain. And Mune steps to the plate. He's had a good night tonight. Mune is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. He has also scored a run. He's raised his spring average up to 250 as he's 7 for 28. And here's the first pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1 to Mune. So if you get a chance to go to Instagram, I don't know if they'll have that, but that was kind of funny in that first at bat that he had wearing the full-on catcher's shin guard. Must have been something wrong with his own shin guard, or maybe he couldn't find it. Who knows? I wonder if the team was having some fun with him. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, that is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes to 1-1 on Mune. Slated to hit next is Tomoya Mori. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Mune. Right-hander Ishii gets his sign from his catcher. And he works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1 on Yuma Mune. So 2-1 is the count. Right-hander Ishii again leans in, gets the sign. Runners at the corners, 1 gone here in the 8th inning. Mune can be a double play candidate. He does have that tendency to ground balls into the double play. That's definitely what they would want to have here. That would keep the run off the board. He's looking for insurance. He squares the bunt, and he bunts it, and it's foul. Right idea there by Mune. Runner at first and third, a little safety squeeze. It's going to run the count to 2-2. I wonder if they'd even try that again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mune. See if they catch the defense on their heels. So here comes the 2-2 offering. Mune definitely takes his time in the batter's box to get himself set. Likes to work on his time, not the pitcher's time. Here comes the 2-2. As the pitch is on its way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to the left field. It's getting down for a base hit. That's going to get the run in. And that is going to bring home Watanabe with the 4th run of the game for the Buffaloes. A little bit of insurance here for Orix. As Mune's got himself a single and an RBI. That's the 3rd hit. If you're a Buffalo fan, that's good news for you. Yuma Mune has been picking up the bat. That is for certain. So 3 hits here to close out the exhibition season. Now he is 8 for 29 in the month of March. So Mune, the runner at first. Marwin Gonzalez stopped at second. And now the catcher Tomoya Mori striding to the plate, looking to do some damage. Mori entered the ball game in the 4th inning when he pinch hit for Wakatsuki. He popped out to the catcher. And then he singled and scored on a wild pitch in the 7th inning. So 1 for 2 tonight. And he swings at a fastball and fouls that one off into the seats down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1. So they got the insurance run, did they? Did the Buffaloes here tonight. No balls and 1 strike to Mori. It's a little bit better breathing room. I'm sure they'd like to add a couple of more right here. Here's the pitch. That's a split finger pitch. It misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. I wonder what the odds of the Tigers to repeat would be this year. I was pretty amazed that they won it last year, and not a disrespect to the Tigers. They were playing some pretty good baseball there for quite a while. But they would not have been my preseason prediction. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. But now that they are the defending champions, I wonder how the odds makers will see them this year. Bay Stars are looking like a solid team in the Central. The Murray Giants are always going to be dangerous. I think for both leagues, my team for the basement in the Pacific is the Saitama Cebu Lions. My team for the basement in the Central is the Chinichi Dragons. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-1 on Mori. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. I'm not sure the Dragons have done enough to pull themselves out of the cellar. I'm not sure what direction they're going in either. Philosophically, the type of import players you want. Are you spending money on your domestic guys? What would give you a reason for hope? Same sort of idea with the Saitama Cebu Lions. Here comes the 3-1. Fastball swung on and it is fouled away. It's going to run the count to 3-2 on Mori. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Mori, I have to say, does not get cheated with his swings. He takes some serious hacks. So here comes the 3-2 as the right-hander works himself to the set. Runner at second is Gonzalez. Runner at first is Mune. And he does the inside spaghetti move and back to the base as the base runner, Mune. So Mori here waiting on the offering as the right-hander works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be golfed into left field, and this ball is going to be caught by the left fielder. And that will retire Mori here. That was Mayagawa who had raced over to his left. Have to make that grab. Ball just hung up enough. So he's gone for the second out of the inning, and that will bring up the top of the order in Kodai Sano. So this is Sano's first at bat of the evening. He had replaced Leandro Cedeno, who had pinched hit for Shuhei Fukuda. Well, we're taking a look here. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Kodai Sano. This is going to be number 5. This is Masahiro Nishino. And the first pitch to Nishino is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So the 4th player to be in this spot in the batting order. So Masahiro Nishino on to pinch hit. And the first pitch down, as we said. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nishino. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count runs even to 1-1. Should Nishino reach base, it is Ryo Oda who is scheduled to come up next. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And here comes the offering from the right-hander Ishii, who delivers a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. We are here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Buffaloes have added to their lead as they now have a 4-2 lead here over the Hanshin Tigers. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes even at 2. Not sure that Nishino liked that call, but I have to say that looked like it was going to saw the plate in half. Not sure what Nishino was looking at or thinking about, because that was a pretty good fastball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Ishii gets his sign from his catcher. And now here comes the offering as he checks the runner at second. He kicks and he fires. Fastball that just misses off the inside corner. runs the count to 3-2. That looked like a pretty darn good pitch. We get the replay of that one there. I don't know what was wrong with that one. Maybe it didn't have the run back on it that the umpire needed to go up with the right hand. So here comes the 3-2. Runners will be on the move here once he delivers to the plate. There's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined over the head of the third baseman, Sato. Rounding third and heading home is Gonzalez. The ball is going to be cut off. And that's going to be another run here for the Buffaloes. So an RBI single for Masahiro Nishino. He's got a single and an RBI. That's going to bring home Gonzalez with the second run of the inning. Buffaloes are now up 5-2. Yuma Mune is going to stop at second. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. So they're giving themselves a little bit of distance now, are the Buffaloes, as they now have a 5-2 lead. At the end of this game, we'll give you all the scoring from around the NPB. Lots of action all the way across the board. So this is Oda at the plate, and the first pitch he sees, he swings at and fouls away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oda tonight in 4 trips to the plate. He's got a double in 4 trips. He was thrown out trying to steal third. He's also flown to left, popped to second, and grounded to short. Oda waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the right-hander. As he checks the runner at second and now kicks and delivers. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now is 0-2 to Oda. So no balls and 2 strikes. Taishi Haruka waits his turn on deck should Oda find a way on here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 strikes to him, 2 gone. Here's the pitch. As the righty delivers a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scheduled to come to bat is Itohara, Umeno, and Shimada, or Shimada, I should say, for the Tigers in their half of the 9th inning. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on. It is lifted down the line in right field, but it's going to reach the seats over top of the netting, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. We are about ready to hit the 3-hour mark in this one. This game here is pretty much on a schedule for what a 9-inning game would be. It's about 3 hours, 8 minutes, 3 hours, 9 minutes. And the pitch is a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. And the count remains at 1-2. And when you're playing these 2 teams, the Buffaloes and the Tigers, they won't see each other again until the interleague play. It's almost got a feel of Yankee Red Sox to it in some regards. I'm going to have to finish this one off and give the voice a rest and get ready for next weekend. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's popped up. Foul over on the first base side, watching it drift into the seats behind the first base dugout. It keeps the count at 1-2. This will be the 7th pitch of the bat coming up to Oda. First baseman Itohara got over to the temporary seating, and then he just watched it drift away. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And here comes the pitch. Split finger pitch misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Oda is giving their right-hander here a battle. I have to say, I really do like what the Buffaloes have done with their ball club. I like the additions they've made. And that, of course, is going to have to cover over the loss of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Oda, you've done some nice things tonight, but you've also done some boneheaded things, and that would be taking a called third strike right down the chute after giving the pitcher quite the battle. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There are no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. We'll be back here to bring this one home for you. We can land the plane here in just a bit. Score 5-2 for the Buffaloes as we move to the top of the 9th. We'll take this break and we'll come back with all the action to bring it home.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be, or slated to come to bat. It's supposed to be for the Hanshin Tigers. We are looking at Itohara, Omeno, and Shimada. We do have a pitching change as the Buffaloes have gone to their bullpen. It is going to be number 23. And that looks like it is going to be Kosei Yoshida. Kosei Yoshida was acquired in the offseason. He was brought in from the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. For those of you who don't know, Kosei Yoshida is one of those players that had a high school career that was absolutely outstanding. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Kento Itohara. He was a legend. He was, I believe, the first overall pick by the Fighters in the draft. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, the count now goes to 0-2. He had really a lackluster time with the Fighters, and the Fighters had traded him to the Buffaloes in the offseason. Split finger pitch swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 0-2. And what I mean by a legendary Koshin tournament, there's two tournaments. There's the spring tournament and the summer tournament. And the summer tournament was, if I'm not mistaken, the one that he was absolutely electric. He threw something crazy. It was something like 800 pitches over a 10-day window. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count now is 1-2 strikes to Itohara. Now, he's just a diminutive guy. He's just a small guy. I think he's like 5'6", 5'7". He looks taller right now in this particular spot. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul past the bag at third base, and the count remains at 1-2. That was a split finger pitch that stayed up in the zone a little too much. So 1-2 strikes. Excited to see Yoshida. I saw him pitch in relief last year. I saw him a couple years ago given a start by the Fighters. Fastball swung on and fouled away into the netting down the third base line, and the count remains at 1-2. So you have to kind of hope that maybe he's got it figured out a little bit and he'll be able to turn his career around. He is 23 years old, so lots of baseball left in him. Fastball misses upstairs. That last pitch was at 91 miles an hour. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Itohara. Looks like he's filled out a little bit, gotten a little bit stronger. In his case, looks like it's kind of a good weight. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Yoshida kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball missing inside. The count now goes to 3-2. Lots of legends made in the Koshin. As we said, this is one of them here. Here's the 3-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, fastball swung on it. Another ball lifted down the left field line. Foul. It's going to reach the seats. And the battle is going to continue. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Itohara. 5-2, the Tigers are trailing the Buffaloes here in the top of the 9th inning. Buffaloes trying to close this one out to end the exhibition season. Here's the 3-2. Fastball misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. And that is going to walk Itohara, and that will bring up the catcher for the Tigers. That's going to bring up Umeno to the plate. Well, Ryotaro Umeno, it's his first opportunity in tonight's ball game to come to bat. It looks like we are going to have a pinch runner possibly for Itohara. I'm not sure there. I'll have to do a double check on that one. So Ryotaro Umeno coming to bat. As he will hit here for the first time this evening, as he has replaced Seishiro Sakamoto. And there's a fastball that comes up and in and almost hits Umeno. He had to back himself out of the way. So ball 1 here. Yoshida not quite on the command with his pitches. "32-year-old right-handed hitter waits. There's a breaking ball missing outside. Count now goes to 2-0. So never a good sign when the pitcher comes in and is not able to put the first couple of hitters away as easily as they should. Here's the 2-0 pitch as Yoshida holds at the belt. And now he delivers a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. This one here will wrap up in just a little bit, and we'll give you the out-of-town scores at the end of it as they throw over to first base and getting back in time easily as the base runner. I just had to double check to see if it still is Itohara or if they have a runner for him. Looks like it's still Itohara in the ball game. And the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball that misses. I'm not sure where that pitch was. That looked pretty darn good. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike, but Yoshida's in jeopardy of walking back-to-back hitters here. I don't know too many pitchers who get squeezed in spring training, but that pitch there where they had a legitimate case. Unless, of course, you're Lance Lynn of the St. Louis Cardinals getting squeezed by Angel Hernandez. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now is 3-2 to Umeno. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Center fielder Shimada waits his turn on deck. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And Yoshida blows Umeno away. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Probably a deep sigh of relief there for Yoshida. He dialed it up and blew it right on by him. It was good old-fashioned hard ball right there. Could not catch up with the pitch. So one gone here. The runner at first, Itohara. This brings up Shimada. This is going to be his first at bat of the night. Batting from the left side. He's got quite the knob at the end of the bat. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. The four-seam fastball of Yoshida, he has touched 92 on our clock. He usually sits at around the upper 80s, 89 or 90. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander gets the side. He checks the runner over at first. He works himself set at the belt. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded past the diving first baseman into right field. And digging around second, but going to hold at second base is Itohara. And the Tigers have something brewing here as they've got runners at first and second with 1 gone. And it's slated to bring up the left fielder, Yukio Maegawa. And Maekawa tonight has only had 1 at bat. He had a double in his only trip to the plate. So Yukio Maekawa coming to the dish. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yoshida. The Tigers are not dead yet. 14 for 44 in the exhibition season for Maekawa. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. He came in to the pitcher's position in the batting order in the 7th inning, but has played in left field since he's arrived tonight. Here comes the 0-1 offering. This is pitch number 21 from Yoshida. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2, and one would have to think that the batter, Maekawa, is going to get a steady diet of slop from Yoshida from this point onward. This will be most likely split finger pitches or breaking balls, whatever that might be. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Yoshida checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. Fastball missing outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Yoshida gets his sign from his catcher, Tomoya Mori. Working set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field, moving over to his left and making the catch. Oh, that was a really nice play by the center fielder, ranging over to have to get it. And that is going to retire. They've had a host of center fielders. That looks like it was Watanabe, who is now out the outfield. He makes the grab. That is going to retire Maegawa for the 2nd out of the inning. But it's going to bring up the top of the order, and that is going to be Ueda coming to bat. We'll see if the Tigers stay with Ueda or if they've got another trick or two up their sleeves. Ueda 0 for 4 tonight. He did reach on an error and score a run back in the 5th inning. It was the run to put the Tigers ahead at the time, 2-1. But since then, the Buffaloes have scored 4 times, have never looked back. It is a pinch hitter. We have number 55 coming in here. And that pinch hitter is going to be Johan Mezis, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So Mezis batting from the right side. He's 5 for 27 in the exhibition season. And I got a chance to see him play last year, and all I would say is that he's got to get it going to be productive this year. So here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is now 2-0. I think I'm a little surprised that he's back unless they had inked him to a 2-year deal. So 2 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck for the Tigers is the pitching spot of Ishii. I'm sure they're probably going to have somebody ready to pinch hit for him. Here comes the 2-0. Breaking ball misses down and away. It's now 3-0 to Mezzies. Yoshida up to 26 pitches. If he lets this batter get away, I would think that there's probably going to be a 2-er out to the mound. I remember reading that Yoshida had some, I want to say some, I don't want to say mental issues, but he had some difficulties, maybe a little bit of depression. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. Mezzi's aboard with a walk. That loads the bases. Runner at third, Itohara. Runner at second, Shimada. Mezzi's is going to be the runner at first. It's going to bring the pitching coach to the mound, and we are going to have a pinch hitter as the Tigers are turning to the bench with 2 out. Going to give the opportunity to Shota Morishita, their star outfielder who did not get the opportunity to start the ball game today. But Morishita is coming in here. So the pitching coach, Harai, pats Yoshida on the back after giving him some loving words. And we are ready to resume the action here. So Morishita steps to the plate, the 23-year-old, hitting .311 with a homer and 4 RBIs in the exhibition season, and he takes a first pitch fastball upstairs for ball 1. Count is 1-0. This is a very dangerous hitter here, and waiting on deck would be Dan Anandera. Either way, the Tigers could have an opportunity to get back into this one with one swing of the bat. Here's the pitch from Yoshida. Fastball swung on, popped up on the infield on the right side. This should do it. Camping out underneath it and making the catch is the second baseman, Oda, and that is going to do it here for out number 3. Well, the Tigers make it entertaining. They threaten, but they don't score. There were no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Your final score, the Hanshin Tigers drop this finale to the Orix Buffaloes. The final score is 5-2. High fives around for Yoshida, but I got to tell you, he's probably really breathing deeply. We'll come back in just a few, everybody, to wrap this one up for you, give you the out-of-town scoreboard and all the rest of that fun stuff. Stick around. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We'll give you the recap of this one. Our friend Louis says it was an exciting finish here. Yeah, it certainly was. Probably more exciting than what the Buffaloes would have wanted. Certainly the Tigers almost had life there at the end to be able to do some damage. They had a chance to tie or go ahead with the swing of the bat. So, quick rundown on the recap of the scoring here tonight. In the first inning, it was a Shuhei Fukuda single that got things going. And with he advanced to second on a wild pitch. Then Yuma Tongu traded spots with him with 2 outs. And that opened up the scoring. It was a 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes after their half inning. The Tigers responded immediately in the top of the second. A leadoff walk to Teru Akisato. Then a single by Sheldon Noisy was followed by a single by Fumihiro Haraguchi that brought in the first run of the game for the Tigers, and we were locked at ones. Moved to the fifth inning with one out. It was Kai Ueda who reached on an error by the third baseman Yumamune, and up stepped Takumu Nakano, and he doubled home the runner Ueda, and it was a 2-1 ball game for the Tigers at that point. Well, then it was all Buffaloes the rest of the way. They put 2 on the board in the seventh inning. With one out, it was a single by Yumamune. Then it was Tomoya Mori who singled as well. Up stepped Leandro Cedeno, the pinch hitter, who came in for Shuhei Fukuda. He singled home a run. That made the scoreline 2-2 after a Ryo Oda groundout and a walk. There was a wild pitch delivered to Taishi Haruka. That allowed the runner from third base, Tomoya Mori, to score, and that made the scoreline 3-2. In the eighth inning, the Buffaloes added a pair more runs. With one out, it was Yataro Sugimoto walk. He was pinch run for by Watanabe. Then Marwin Gonzalez singled. Then Yumamune singled home Watanabe. After Tomoya Mori flew out to left, up stepped Masahiro Nishino, and he singled home Marwin Gonzalez with the second run of the inning, and that made the scoreline 5-2, and that is where it ended. Buffaloes were the victors in this one, as they have now finished off the exhibition season with their cousins, the Hanshin Tigers. A very sound attendance in this one here tonight. 35,656 took in the game from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, and that is how it finished. The other ball games, there's still a couple that are still underway. We got a lot of finals around the NPB. We'll give you those right now. The Yokohama DNA Bay Stars knocked off the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters 3-2. That is at Escon Field in Hokkaido. The other games that are over, the Chinichi Dragons came from behind to score 2 runs and beat the Chibalote Marines 2-1. That was at the Vantolin Dome. The Hiroshima Carp beat the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3-0. That was played at the Mazda Zoom Stadium. And then 2 other games still going on. The Swallows have a 5-3 lead against the Lions. That is in the bottom of the ninth inning at the Baluna Dome. Lions are batting. And at the Tokyo Dome, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are clinging to a 7-6 lead over the Giants. Giants are batting in their half of the ninth inning. Once again, the final score here from the Kyocera Dome, it is the Orix Buffaloes 5 and the Hanshin Tigers 2. Appreciate everybody who checked in tonight, whether it be our friend Titus, Louis, Mick, and not to mention our friends Tyler and CV and JR and John Smith and anybody else who I might have missed. Troy. Appreciate you guys and your support. We look forward to having you guys back in the house here on Friday as we will begin Is For Real. Once again, everybody, have a great night. We will see you again in about 5 days' time. Have a great night again.